Chapter 756 Transformation of Power. Please subscribe. Black Planet, the Life and Death Samsara Guidance Space. An incarnation of Lin Yuan sat in this place, observing the ceaseless cycle of life and death before him. Life is death and death is life. The cycles of life and death are merely different aspects of the samsara rule. So that's how it is, that's how it is. Lin Yuan was spirited. His understanding of the life and death samsara rule had broken through certain shackle, reaching a new level. The fourth realm. The fourth realm of the life and death samsara rule. In the two-dimensional world, a millennium had passed, while a century had gone by in the main universe. 150 years ago, Lin Yuan comprehended the life and death samsara rule. 100 years ago, the life and death samsara rule reached the second realm. Now, after another 100 years, Lin Yuan's understanding of the life and death samsara rule had surpassed the third realm and attained the fourth realm. The life and death samsara rule, although it only encompasses two pillar-level fusion rules of life and death. Seedage Nelfer. Net website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. Essentially, it explicates the samsara rule. Without being in this guiding space, I estimate it would take over 10 times longer to reach my current level. Lin Yuan felt quite emotional inside. Due to his heaven-defying understanding, no bottleneck or shackle could block his path for long. If it were any other evolver, it wouldn't just be a matter of time. They probably couldn't cross over even at the end of their lifespan. Not to mention other races. Among human civilization alone, there are not a few 11th rank evolvers stuck in the third and fourth realm of pillar-level fusion rules. To cultivate to the tier 11, each is without exception the strongest genius of their era. This guiding space is of no use to me now. At this moment, Lin Yuan looked around at the intertwined and fused rules of life and death, feeling no further impact in his heart, because he had now reached a realm in this fusion of rules that equaled the height of the guiding space. Simply put, Lin Yuan had fully comprehended this guiding space. Now that the life and death samsara rule has reached the fourth realm, and several other pillar-level fusion rules like the Great Destruction Rule are at the third realm peak, I could step into the fourth realm at any moment. He thought to himself that while concurrently contemplating multiple fusion rules could disperse one's focus and energy, the simultaneous advance and collision among the different fusion rules often brought about unexpected propulsion effects for Lin Yuan. Whether it was the life and death samsara rule or the Great Destruction Rule, they are all part of the chaos rules with the same origin. I can tell the Xiaqin Supreme being to arrange for 10th rank evolvers from human civilization to take my place. Lin Yuan thought silently. Since this guiding space was no longer effective for Lin Yuan, then he might as well rent it out. After all, according to the price previously agreed upon with the Xiaqin Supreme being, a guiding space is worth 100 million merit points. Let's go. Lin Yuan turned and left the guiding space. Outside the guiding space, the figure of Lin Yuan appeared. The next moment, not far away, a figure with a stern face, wearing a black robe, materialized. "Why have you come out?" The black-robed figure was taken aback and frowned at Lin Yuan. The Black Planet's 12 guiding spaces. Each life was only allowed to enter a certain guiding space once. In other words, they cannot be re-entered. Lin Yuan had spent just over 100 years in the life and death samsara guidance space before he voluntarily walked out. According to the rules of the Black Planet, he could not re-enter the life and death samsara guidance space again. This made the black-robed figure somewhat regretful. It took Lin Yuan only 50 years to break through from the first realm to the second realm in the life and death samsara rule. Regarding talent and aptitude, he was absolutely the most monstrous, the most aberrant 10th rank life in the black-robed figure's memory. But even if one was that monstrous and aberrant, it was extremely foolish to leave the guiding space before reaching the fourth realm of the life and death samsara rule. Because this guiding space is no longer of any use to me. Lin Yuan glanced at the black-robed figure and spoke. No longer of any use? The black-robed figure was a little slow to react, then looked at Lin Yuan with disbelief. You've reached the fourth realm? Only those who had reached the fourth realm were qualified to say that the guiding space was of no use to them. 100 years ago, Lin Yuan's life and death samsara rule reached the second realm, and he unintentionally revealed his aura, disturbing the balance of life and death within the guiding space. This allowed the black-robed figure to surmise that Lin Yuan had reached the second realm. After that, Lin Yuan reached the third realm and just now the fourth realm without revealing any aura or disturbing the balance of life and death within the guiding space. Obviously the black-robed figure did not know Lin Yuan's exact level. Yes. Lin Yuan nodded, raised his right hand, lines of life and death coiled around his fingertips, and in a vague sense, a vast great wheel of samsara appeared. Really, the fourth realm? Seeing the great wheel of samsara at Lin Yuan's fingertips, the black-robed figure had no more doubts in his heart, but even so, he was still struck with a sense of incredulity. So this is the fourth realm? On the surface, it seemed that Lin Yuan spent 50 years to step from the first to the second realm, and another 100 years from the second realm to the third, and then from the third to the fourth realm. The time spent breaking through each level was 50 years. It appeared to be straightforward. But the breakthroughs in realms are far from being so simply calculated. The higher the level, the more time it requires to elevate just one minor realm. Among the numerous evolved geniuses of human civilization, only Lin Yuan had taken several hundred to 1,000 years to cultivate from the first rank to the seventh rank. But from the seventh to the eighth rank, they stalled for tens of thousands of years, even hundreds of thousands of years. These are all concrete examples. It's even more so with the comprehension of fusion rules. In the black-robed figure's estimation, it would take Lin Yuan 50 years to step into the second realm and between 500 to 1,000 years to step into the third realm. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 757 Transformation of Power. Please subscribe. _2 to step into the fourth realm. It almost takes 10,000 years. This was still based on the premise that Lin Yuan had advanced into the second realm within 50 years prior, showing such an awe-inspiring and unequaled talent. But as for Lin Yuan, he spent 50 years from the first to the second realm, another 50 years from the second to the third realm, and 50 years from the third to the fourth realm. This meant that Lin Yuan's comprehension speed was getting faster and faster, showing an exponential surge. Can you send me out? Lin Yuan looked at the slightly distracted man in the black robe and spoke. Search * the novel fire. Net * website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. On the Black Planet, the roads behind the 12 gates are all one way. Entering is possible, but to leave, it requires the power of the man in the black robe. Leave. Okay. The man in the black robe quickly recovered. He took a deep look at Lin Yuan, waved his right hand, and sent him to the surface of the Black Planet. For a moment, outside the guiding space, the vast emptiness held only the figure of the man in the black robe. How could such an aberrant life be born within this universe? The man in the black robe muttered to himself. Most of his memories were incomplete, but he also realized that Lin Yuan's cultivation speed was extremely unreasonable. Outside the Black Planet, Lin Yuan's figure appeared. Let's go back. Lin Yuan stepped out and left the Black Planet. At present, he was merely an incarnation, and compared to a primordial spirit avatar, an incarnation's combat power was very weak, so most evolvers' attitude towards an incarnation was to directly dissipate it after use. But in Lin Yuan's view, even a mosquito was still meat. With the strength of his incarnation, even if it was far inferior to his true self, by leveraging the use of space rules, he could still travel hundreds of light years in one step, quickly returning to the Milky Way main star. Then, merging into his true self, he avoided the slight loss from an incarnation dissipating. Battlefield A101. Under a certain eternal spatial rift, Lin Yuan Taiyin primordial spirit opened his eyes. The battlefield A098, where the Taiyang divine spirit had been, was forcibly reduced to a lower dimension by the white paper that entered the universe and no longer existed. Even the Taiyang divine spirit fell into it. But no matter what, the accumulation efficiency of world-breaking origin force couldn't decrease. After confirming that the Taiyang divine spirit couldn't come out in a short period, Lin Yuan let the Taiyin primordial spirit choose another large alien battlefield to accelerate the accumulation of world-breaking origin force. Compared to the absolute safety within the guiding space, a large alien battlefield is full of crises, so it must be an avatar that goes. As for an incarnation, a moment of carelessness could lead to death at the hands of different species. The intensity of the wars has indeed lessened quite a bit over these 100 years. Lin Yuan glanced at the center of the battlefield and thought, not just this large alien battlefield, but the intensity of wars has dropped significantly in other large alien battlefields, and even in medium-sized and small-sized otherworldly battlefields. The reason for this has to do with that white paper extending deep in the cosmic starry skies. Over 1 billion myriad tribes' powerhouses fell into it, which has no small impact on the alliances of the peak clans. At least shortages are starting to appear in war reserves. Even if a vast number of myriad tribes' powerhouses return from the white paper inside the two-dimensional world, facing fundamental losses, it would take a considerable amount of time to attempt recovery. Add to that supreme beings are studying that white paper, the impact from the top down has caused the intensity of battles in all battlefields to decrease. Lin Yuan was naturally pleased with this, as the safer the environment, the more conducive it was to accumulating world-breaking origin force. The quantity of my world-breaking origin force has reached 900 strands. Lin Yuan thought of the world-breaking origin force stored in the door to the myriad realms, and a smile appeared on his face. In 100 years, according to the accumulation speed of world-breaking origin force, 1 strand every 90 days beneath the eternal spatial rift of a large alien battlefield. Lin Yuan had accumulated 405 strands of world-breaking origin force. Add to that nearly 500 strands of world-breaking origin force he already possessed 100 years ago. The combined total made Lin Yuan's quantity of world-breaking origin force near 1,000 strands. So much world-breaking origin force. Lin Yuan let out a slight sigh of relief in his heart. With such a vast amount of world-breaking origin force at his support, even if the Taiyang Divine Spirit had indeed perished within that two-dimensional world, Lin Yuan would still have enough confidence. Even if the Taiyang Divine Spirit were to be fundamentally erased, and his own against heaven's understanding was unable to restore the Taiyang Divine Spirit, he could still perform custom traversal, letting the door to the myriad realms take him to a world where his Taiyang Divine Spirit could be restored. In the myriad realms of the heavens and countless dimensions, there is always a world environment that could restore his Taiyang Divine Spirit. It's merely a matter of how much world-breaking origin force it would take. With my current strength, I should be comparable to an 11th rank life of the 3rd tier. In 100 years of cultivation, Lin Yuan had reached the 4th realm in pillar-level fusion rules, but it's important to know with his own powerful foundation. Lin Yuan in the 1st realm could wield the power of the life and death samsara rule at the 2nd, or even 3rd, realms might. Now that he had reached the 4th realm, he estimated he could be on par with the peak 5th realm of pillar-level fusion rules. The threshold for the 3rd tier of an 11th rank is elevating a certain pillar-level fusion rule to the 5th realm. An advancement of 1 tier in 100 years. Not bad. Lin Yuan nodded slightly. The 6 levels of 11th rank life, for any 11th rank powerhouse wishing to cross them, the time spent on each tier is counted by millions or tens of millions of years. This is still the case without facing any bottlenecks. Otherwise, it would be far more than millions or tens of millions of years. Lin Yuan, having cultivated for only 100 years, was now comparable to the 3rd tier of an 11th rank, which was an utterly astounding rate of advancement. Search the novel Fire. Net website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 758 Transformation of Power. Please subscribe. _3 The most crucial aspect was that Lin Yuan wasn't cultivating as an 11th rank life, but instead he had bridged this gap at the 10th rank life level. Sir, the novel Fire. Net website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. Comprehending many of the fusion rules went smoothly, but with the space-time rule, there seemed to be some difficulties. With a shift in thought, Lin Yuan sighed inwardly. The space-time rule, formerly known as the spatio-temporal fusion rule, is among the most arduous and abstruse of the fusion rules without equal. And comprehending the spatio-temporal fusion rule is one of the thresholds that an 11th rank powerhouse must cross to reach the ultimate existence. The importance of the spatio-temporal fusion rule, thus, can be imagined. Comprehending the spatio-temporal fusion rule means that the space and time of one's inner world are unified, resulting in a more stable and perfect transformation towards the inner universe, ensuring a steadier transition. Moreover, the spatiotemporal fusion rule plays a significant role in freeing an 11th rank life from the constraints of the River of Time, allowing an 11th rank life to step out of the River of Time for longer periods, thereby fighting for more time to strive for the ultimate. Perhaps it's somewhat unrealistic for me to want to comprehend the spatiotemporal fusion rule at the 10th rank. Lin Yuan thought to himself that even for an 11th rank life, once the spatiotemporal fusion rule was comprehended, one would instantly rise to the 4th layer, and by raising the spatiotemporal fusion rule to the 5th realm, one would be qualified to challenge the ultimate. What Lin Yuan wanted to do at the 10th rank was something only an 11th rank life at the 4th layer could achieve. And this wasn't simply a matter of combat foundation, but rather a pure comprehension of the rules. Ultimately, 10th rank life was still somewhat inferior. It didn't have the same ease as an 11th rank life in sensing the fluctuations of the space-time rule. Enough, even without mastering the spatiotemporal fusion rule with my perception, once I step into the 11th rank, I will be able to comprehend it quickly. Lin Yuan ceased his contemplation. Milky Way main star. Lin Yuan's true body sat cross-legged. 10th stage martial Tao chapter? Decades ago, Lin Yuan had been contemplating the inception of the 10th rank chapter. Since comprehending the life and death samsara rule, Lin Yuan was considered grade A at the 10th rank, the peak of 10th rank, qualified to embark on the 10th stage martial Tao chapter, all the more so now that Lin Yuan's life and death samsara rule had long reached the 4th realm. My 10th stage martial Tao chapter must be unique. Over the decades, Lin Yuan had attempted to create hundreds of beginnings for the 10th stage martial Tao chapter, but none proved satisfactory. The evolutionary path of human civilization, from 1st rank to 11th rank, doesn't see the 10th rank as the most crucial nor as the strongest in combat power, but it still serves a pivotal role in bridging the past and unlocking the future. Especially for the martial path evolutionary path, the 10th rank chapter is of utmost importance. The 10th rank path I've taken cannot be replicated, so the 10th stage martial Tao chapter should address all 10th rank evolvers. Lin Yuan thought rapidly in his mind, continuously forming the various intricacies of the 10th rank chapter. Outside the Milky Way main star, a young-looking man with eyes that bore a hint of world weariness suddenly appeared. I spent all the merit points I've accumulated and also borrowed 80 million merit points in the name of my clan from human civilization, bringing the total to 100 million merit points in exchange for an opportunity that could bring me one step closer. The man with the vicissitudes in his eyes was named Shenyuan Fan, an ancient 10th rank evolver from the Shenyuan family. In terms of strength, Shenyuan Fan ranked among the top 10 of all 10th rank evolvers in human civilization, and was much stronger than Nalan, the assistant tower master, before her breakthrough. Because Shenyuan Fan had comprehended 2 pillar-level fusion rules, among which the life and death samsara rule had reached the peak of the 1st realm. However, without stepping into the 2nd realm, Shenyuan Fan could not challenge the 11th rank, and to elevate the life and death samsara rule to the 2nd realm was no longer a matter of arduous cultivation but required the aid of an external force. According to the ancestors' intention, the Galaxy Master holds a heritage site that could further my life and death samsara rule, but it requires a payment of 100 million merit points. Shenyuan Fan felt somewhat pained. Even as an evolver from the Shenyuan family, constantly fighting on the battlefield for human civilization, he had only amassed 20 million merit points until now. Had it not been for his family's reputation, he wouldn't have been able to gather close to 100 million merit points. Even if he did gather enough, he would still need to repay 80 million merit points to human civilization. Even if Shenyuan Fan luckily stepped into the 11th rank, it would take him millions to tens of millions of years to repay that amount. I wonder which heritage site could be worth 100 million merit points? But the ancestor wouldn't deceive me, Shenyuan Fan thought. It was precisely on the advice of the Shenyuan family's ancestor that he had made such a choice. The ancestor of the Shenyuan family was one of the 9 supreme beings of human civilization. The Galaxy Master, the strongest genius of human civilization to date, who stepped into the 10th rank 200 years ago. Shenyuan Fan's mind flashed through Lin Yuan's information. What a lucky fellow! Shenyuan Fan envied in his heart. A heritage site that was worth 100 million merit points for just a single entry, its true value was immeasurable. Shortly after Shenyuan Fan arrived at the Milky Way main star, he contacted Lin Yuan through the virtual network. A moment later, a young man appeared not far away. Galaxy Master. Shenyuan Fan looked at the quietly arriving young man, his expression changing slightly. His own perception of the life and death samsara rule had also reached the peak of the first realm, so he vaguely sensed the great wheel of samsara condensing within Lin Yuan. In front of this vast great wheel of samsara, Shenyuan Fan felt like an ant, which could be obliterated at any moment. Wasn't the Galaxy Master just at the initial stage of the 10th rank? Why is his aura so terrifying, and his comprehension of the life and death samsara rule so profound? Shenyuan Fan was shocked. Although he didn't know to what extent Lin Yuan's life and death samsara rule had reached, it was undoubtedly far beyond his own. It's terrifying. Is this the first genius of our human civilization? Originally, Shenyuan Fan didn't pay much attention to Lin Yuan, but at this moment, his spirit couldn't help but quiver. Galaxy Master, here are 100 million merit points, Shenyuan Fan said with utmost respect, and transferred 100 million merit points to Lin Yuan. Lin Yuan nodded and also sent over the coordinates of the Black Planet. The star domain where the Black Planet was located now belonged to Lin Yuan. Without permission, any citizen who trespassed on the Black Planet was violating the laws of human civilization, and 11th rank evolvers were no exception. 100 million merit points received. Lin Yuan watched Shenyuan Fan leave with respect, feeling quite pleased. He then gazed towards a certain part of the cosmic starry skies, the location of the two-dimensional world. Search the novel Fire. Net website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 759, The Reappearance of Heaven's Gate. Seeking subscriptions. Two-dimensional world. Heavy snow whirled through the air, covering everything in a blanket of white. Within Sea Moon City, Lin Yuan walked the streets, occasionally stopping to sit at a nearby table and chairs to sample the delicacies of Sea Moon City. Sea Moon City, established by the Sea Moon tribe, is far from the 12 ancient countries. There are few conflicts here. The people of the Sea Moon tribe dislike fighting amongst themselves and are very friendly to outsiders. While tasting the food, Lin Yuan pondered to himself. Having spent 10,000 years, Lin Yuan had basically explored this two-dimensional world once over. This was his second visit to Sea Moon City, the last time being 8,000 years ago. He would only come to a place a second time if he especially liked a particular city. And the cuisine of Sea Moon City was distinctive. Lin Yuan had revisited to experience the flavors here once more. 8,000 years have passed, generations of the original citizens of Sea Moon City have come and gone, but the taste of the food hasn't changed much. Lin Yuan sipped his drink, which was blended from dozens of unique fruit juices, offering a truly unique flavor. The snow is getting heavier. Lin Yuan set down his drink, gazing at the snowflakes continually drifting down from the sky. The snowflakes of the two-dimensional world. Each piece was like a work of art, resembling glittering jewels. Lin Yuan reached out to catch the falling snowflakes, closely observing their intricate structures, maze-like, incredibly complex, yet the resulting snowflake was utterly perfect, just like a simplified version of this two-dimensional world. The more Lin Yuan observed, the more he was engrossed, completely immersing his mind in it. Your perception is defying heaven, studying the nature of the snowflake, deepening continuously. Lin Yuan was engrossed in the perfect structure of the snowflakes, completely unaware of the snow falling ever more heavily, as others quickly sought shelter inside stores, leaving him alone outside. "Mom, is that man a foreigner?" A little girl inside the shop curiously watched Lin Yuan. Lin Yuan's dress was quite distinctive from that of other citizens of Sea Moon City, making him recognizable immediately. How silly that foreigner is. The snow is falling so heavily, and he doesn't come inside to take shelter. The little girl blinked and couldn't help but speak. "You shouldn't judge others like that." The little girl's mother scolded immediately, though her voice was somewhat gentle. This was also a characteristic of the women of the Sea Moon tribe, appearing weak, but the citizens of Sea Moon City, men and women alike, were all fiercely spirited. All right, The little girl bowed her head in admission, sounding aggrieved. But if he continues to stay out in the snow like that, he'll surely catch a cold. The mother furrowed her brow slightly, glancing at Lin Yuan sitting in the snow with some hesitation. Just then, your perception is defying heaven, observing the essence of the snowflake, breaking through to which ancestor 136th realm. Lin Yuan's eyes sparkled, feeling the changes in his Bodhi's inner chi, and he instinctively burst into laughter. Ha 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 ha. Although Lin Yuan tried to contain his energy, the horrifying sound waves nevertheless caused the air to surge, and everyone in Sea Moon City, including the city's lord, who was a witch emperor, bore expressions of terror. What is this? Everyone inside the store felt the same, clutching their heads in agony. Fortunately, Lin Yuan quickly halted his laughter, preventing any harm to the citizens. It's time to leave. Lin Yuan glanced around and vanished. Back in the store, the little girl and her mother finally recovered. Mom, that foreigner's laughter was really scary. The little girl trembled, hiding in her mother's embrace. That foreigner must be an extraordinarily powerful being. The mother's voice also trembled, then sternly eyed the little girl. Haven't I taught you so many times not to judge others lightly? Fortunately, that powerful person didn't take it to heart. The mother was somewhat frightened, the mere laughter causing such a reaction. Even the strongest city lord couldn't achieve that, could they? If Lin Yuan had minded her daughter's remarks from earlier, their mother and daughter pair would have faced severe consequences. I understand, Mom. Tears swirled in the little girl's eyes, clearly understanding her mistake. Outside Sea Moon City, a figure stood in the air. The heavy snowfall melted rapidly within 100 meters of this figure, evaporated by the immense vitality. 10,000 years, which ancestor 136th realm. Lin Yuan nodded slightly. It took him over 300 years to reach which ancestor 50 realm from an ordinary person of the two-dimensional world. But advancing from which ancestor 50 realm to which ancestor 136th realm took 10,000 years. Lin Yuan was quite satisfied with this, knowing each leap in realm from which ancestor 50 realm was not merely normal advancement but a struggle against the heaven and earth itself, seeking to break free from the constraints and suppression. Originally, Lin Yuan's plan was to reach which ancestor 100th realm in 10,000 years, but now reaching the 136th realm far exceeded his expectations. In these 10,000 years, the powerhouses of myriad tribes have become fewer and fewer. Lin Yuan stood in the air, watching the snowflakes fall, pondering silently. By his estimate, the total number of myriad tribes' powerhouses in the two-dimensional world should not exceed 1,000. It was not that other powerhouses from myriad tribes had been exterminated, but that most realized that even if they remained, they couldn't possibly go outside. Rather than dying of old age in this two-dimensional world, they might as well give up early and willingly extinguish their avatars. In this two-dimensional world, unable to comprehend many laws, staying longer wouldn't provide any real enhancement to their true bodies outside. It's about time to head for Heavenly Mountain. Lin Yuan thought to himself, with half a year left until the gates to heaven opened once again. Luo River Gathering Place. After 10,000 years of evolution, the former Luo River Gathering area had long since become Luo River City, and the city master was a descendant of Xiaoran Gu. As for Xiaoran Gu himself, he had died of old age long ago. However, because of Lin Yuan's connections, Xiaoran Gu had a very comfortable life and even lived longer than other powerhouses of the same level. Before heading to Heavenly Mountain, Lin Yuan deliberately stayed in Luo River City. My old residence is still preserved, unaltered. Lin Yuan glanced and saw the cave where he used to meditate. In this two-dimensional world, I no longer have any acquaintances. Lin Yuan only stayed in the ancient city of Luo River for a short while before he left directly. Immediately after, Lin Yuan also made a special trip to the capital of Shuyu ancient country. Just like Luo River City, the Shuyu emperor had been replaced many times, and the title of prince of the northern town had been reclaimed by one of the Shuyu emperors. 10,000 years, times change, people change. Even the myriad tribes' powerhouses, most of them find it difficult to survive that long, let alone the normal lifespan of a witch ancestor, which is just 2,000 to 3,000 years. To live past 10,000 years, one must at least reach the 20th realm of which ancestor, which only a few top-tier 10th rank and 11th rank powerhouses can manage to achieve. Lin Yuan silently observed all this, then finally left the capital of Shuiyu ancient country. This time departing, even if he still couldn't open the heavenly gate, Lin Yuan would not come back again. On the summit of Heavenly Mountain, many myriad tribes' powerhouses had arrived early, compared to the bustle when the heavenly gate first opened. Search * the Novelier, an ET website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. This time, the summit of Heavenly Mountain was much colder. Scattered around were several hundred myriad tribes' powerhouses. After 10,000 years, I far exceeded the exploration of the supreme weapon within me compared to 10,000 years ago, and I estimate it could rival the 60th realm of a witch ancestor. At the summit of Heavenly Mountain, the 4 divine kings stood quietly, their gazes emitting a hint of fighting spirit. In a two-dimensional world, after myriad tribes' powerhouses cultivate to the 10th realm of a witch ancestor, they will be suppressed by the heavens of this world, finding it hard to progress any further. But this restriction, which applies to the myriad tribes' powerhouses, relaxes greatly when it comes to the suppression of supreme weapons. The supreme weapon within the 4 divine kings indeed shares some essence of a supreme being. Excavating the power of that supreme weapon is much easier than elevating one's own realm and power. Without this supreme weapon, even over the past 100 or 200,000 years, the 4 divine kings could never have cultivated to the 60th realm of a witch ancestor. Now I should be able to compete with the human Shuiyu? The 4 divine kings enthusiastically declared, "Human Shuiyu, your biggest mistake was not killing me back then." The 4 divine kings steadied their spirits, their eyes blazing with fiery combat intent. Suddenly, at that moment, in the central position of the summit, someone appeared, unnoticed. Human Shuiyu. Human Shuiyu has arrived. The surrounding myriad tribes' powerhouses perked up, all turning their attention. In fact, most of the myriad tribes' powerhouses had come to catch another glimpse of Lin Yuan, to see if Lin Yuan could push the heavenly gate this time. Human Shuiyu. The 4 divine kings were spirited, while also looking towards Lin Yuan. Lin Yuan seemed to sense something, his gaze flickering towards the 4 divine kings. Boom! Just a single glance caused the 4 divine kings' minds to thunder, their legs shaking uncontrollably. If not for fiercely relying on the power of the supreme weapon within, they might have collapsed on the spot. How is this possible? How can he be so strong? The 4 divine kings couldn't help but roar inwardly, one gaze from Lin Yuan causing them to utterly falter, indicating that the gap between them and Lin Yuan had grown far wider than it had been 10,000 years before. At least 10,000 years ago, facing a glance from Lin Yuan wasn't nearly as unnerving. How could human civilization give birth to such a freak? The 4 divine kings finally managed to stabilize after stepping back several times. Lin Yuan glanced back at the 4 divine kings, also sensing some fiery emotion from the latter towards him. In fact, Lin Yuan didn't care much about the 4 divine kings. 10,000 years ago, the 4 divine kings were far from his match, and the gap between them had only grown over 10,000 years. For Lin Yuan now, the only opponent in this two-dimensional world was that heavenly gate. Time slowly passed. Finally, above the summit of Heavenly Mountain, intense spatial fluctuations emerged once again. A heavenly gate was slowly outlined, materializing in front of the many myriad tribes' powerhouses, deep within the two-dimensional world. In a vast space, in front of a giant scroll, a half-meter-tall old man yawned and slowly opened his eyes. For him, 10,000 years in the two-dimensional world was nothing more than a short nap, incredibly brief. Let's see how far 10,000 years can go. The half-meter-tall old man stretched, looking towards the giant scroll in front of him. The scroll was cloaked in mist, encompassing a vast, real world. What? The moment the half-meter-tall old man looked, he was somewhat bewildered, as if he had seen a ghost. Search the Novelier, net website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 760, Pushing the Door Open. Please subscribe. In front of the massive scroll, the half-meter-tall elder seemed somewhat dazed. He could freely manipulate everything within the two-dimensional world of the scroll, with the entire two-dimensional world appearing as an extension of his own body, down to the smallest detail. As for the many powerhouses of the myriad clans who had fallen into the two-dimensional world, in the eyes of the half-meter-tall elder, there were no secrets, as he could see through them at a glance. However, it was precisely because of this that the half-meter-tall elder was all the more astonished, his gaze piercing through the entire two-dimensional world, continuously sizing up Lin Yuan, who stood before the heavenly gate. Originally, I just wanted to watch for another 10,000 years, to see what this little fellow could do after breaking the limit of the 30 layers of worlds. The half-meter-tall elder silently thought to himself. Merely 300-some years after Lin Yuan's arrival, he had already broken the limit of the 30 layers of worlds, which left the half-meter-tall elder somewhat uncertain. According to his thoughts, as long as Lin Yuan could continue to break the 30 layers limit within the next 10,000 years, that would be enough. The higher one goes with world limits, the more difficult it becomes to break them. The first 30 layers of world limits are not at all the same concept as the next 30 layers. That's why the half-meter-tall elder had specifically set aside 10,000 years. I thought I had overestimated enough that in 10,300-some years, breaking through 60 layers of world limits would be enough. I never expected this little guy to far exceed my estimates. In just 10,000 years, he actually broke through 99 layers of world limits? The half-meter-tall elder steadied his mind. That is to say, in the 10,300 years since Lin Yuan arrived, he had broken through a total of 129 layers of world limits. Even a 12th-rank life, transcending the shackles of the river of time and falling into this low-dimensional space, couldn't possibly break through so many world limits in just over 10,000 years. Right? The half-meter-tall elder still couldn't quite believe it. Even 12th-rank lives that fell into low-dimensional space could still use some extraordinary methods to accelerate their cultivation speed. But even so, to reach Lin Yuan's current level, it would probably take 100,000 or even 1,000,000 years. Is he really just a long river inner life? The half-meter-tall elder confirmed repeatedly. Life below the 12th rank is also called long river inner life, meaning they need to be bound by the river of time. Even within the chaos void, long river inner life and long river outer life are fundamentally different, with the latter far surpassing the former in every aspect. This is determined by the essence of life itself. The beings within the river of time are limited in their perceptions and experiences, which are extremely narrow, whereas 12th-rank lives outside the river of time can see and feel a universe that is immensely vast and grand. This is truly terrifying. Having confirmed that Lin Yuan was still caught within the river of time, the half-meter-tall elder's expression was one of utter amazement. At this moment, the speed of cultivation that Lin Yuan displayed was the strongest of all long river inner life since the creation of this two-dimensional world, and he had established a cliff-like gap with the second in line. Even among the many formidable existences outside the river of time, Lin Yuan's cultivation speed was astonishingly fast. No need to continue watching, I suppose. Just let him come in. The half-meter-tall elder glanced at the heavenly gate that was rapidly taking shape. If he continued to watch, the half-meter-tall elder even worried that Lin Yuan might continue to break even more world limits, eventually breaking free from the two-dimensional world's suppression and leaving. Although the probability of this happening was almost zero, an absolutely impossible feat, but before this, the half-meter-tall elder had also never imagined that Lin Yuan could break so many layers of world limits within 10,000 years. At the summit of Heavenly Mountain, Lin Yuan stood before the heavenly gate, his heart slightly stirred by the gate that was rapidly materializing. All the efforts he made during the 10,000 years in the two-dimensional world were for this moment, to open the gate before him. Only by opening the heavenly gate was there hope to leave this two-dimensional world. Only by leaving this two-dimensional world could he avoid intrinsic losses and preserve his Taiyang divine spirit. Only by leaving this two-dimensional world could the countless mysterious artifacts Lin Yuan acquired display their true value. The heavenly gate gradually materialized, also pulling at the hearts and minds of other powerhouses of the myriad clans. These powerhouses of the myriad clans, although competitors with Lin Yuan, especially the 4 divine kings and other 11th rank perfect lives, had been living under the shadow cast by Lin Yuan for 10,000 years. But all the powerhouses of the myriad clans sincerely hoped that Lin Yuan would be able to push open the heavenly gate. Only if Lin Yuan could open the heavenly gate would it mean that the gate could be opened, and they too would have the possibility of opening it. And only after Lin Yuan opened the heavenly gate and left this two-dimensional world would the chance for the 4 divine kings and other 11th rank perfect lives truly come. As long as Lin Yuan did not leave, no power in this two-dimensional world could compete with him. The 4 divine kings had some confidence initially and wanted to challenge Lin Yuan seriously this time. But just a single sidelong glance from Lin Yuan brought him back to reality. CTH Novelfire, any *T website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. Lord Shuiyu, on the side of human civilization, Shen Yuan Dua and other 11th rank evolvers from human civilization watched Lin Yuan before the heavenly gate with anticipation. In these 10,000 years, they had not even met face to face, but it did not prevent everyone from pinning their hopes on Lin Yuan. In the depths of the cosmic starry sky, many a supreme being paid close attention to the scroll that stretched out beneath the stars. The heavenly gate is about to open. Hope it can be open this time, right? The many supreme beings rapidly communicated, and while there weren't many of the myriad tribes' powerhouses left alive in the two-dimensional world, they were practically all the real elite or even the heritage of the major races and forces. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know, report, so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 761, Pushing the Door Open. Subscribe please. _2 boom, boom, boom. Just at this moment, the 9 supreme beings of human civilization suddenly unleashed a terrifying aura, recklessly stirring the space-time fluctuations of hundreds of thousands of light-years nearby. Human civilization? Have they activated the clan suppression weapon? Activating the clan suppression weapon comes at no small cost. What does human civilization intend to do? What to do? Naturally, to protect that blood rain, right? The thoughts of the supreme beings processed at an astonishing speed, immediately understanding the reason behind the actions of the 9 supreme beings. If Lin Yuan could push open the heavenly gate this time, freeing himself from the two-dimensional world and returning to the main universe, he would inevitably be exposed right under the noses of the many supreme beings present. And with Lin Yuan's stunning performance in the two-dimensional world, there would definitely be supreme beings who couldn't control themselves and would directly attack, such as the insect race, the matriarch of the Tianyu clan, and the ancestors. Or maybe some other ultimate beings, if given the chance, would certainly seize the opportunity to strike. For a mere life within the river of time, such a grand mobilization, the supreme beings of human civilization TSK. A grand mobilization, if you had offspring like blood rain, I reckon it would be even more exaggerated than what human civilization is doing now. The many supreme beings communicated with each other, but they didn't have any objections or aversion to the actions of Xiaqin Supreme Being and the other 8 supreme beings. In fact, they even voluntarily backed off a bit, showing their sincerity. One reason was that since Lin Yuan had freed himself from the constraints of the two-dimensional world and returned to the main world, even if his avatar died, there would be no fundamental loss. Hence, the significance of killing him wasn't significant. Secondly, they too had tribe members trapped in the two-dimensional world. After Lin Yuan left the two-dimensional world, the other powerhouses of the myriad tribes would also successively push open the heavenly gate and leave. If they struck at Lin Yuan now, when their tribe members left the two-dimensional world, would the 9 supreme beings of human civilization just let it go? Rather than killing 1,000 enemies and losing 800 of themselves, it was better to take a step back. Of course, this was just the idea of the majority of ultimate beings. A few ancestors of the Tianyu clan thought differently. Because the Tianyu clan powerhouses who had fallen into the two-dimensional world had been eliminated right from the beginning and had no chance of leaving the two-dimensional world at all. Yet merely relying on the few ancestors of the Tianyu clan would not shake the 9 supreme beings of human civilization who had activated the clan suppression weapon. No suspicions have been raised. Xia Qin's supreme being and the other 8 supreme beings exchanged glances and slightly relaxed. Currently, the aura of human civilization's clan suppression weapon still pervaded half of the scroll, so even a supreme being could not decipher the aura of the blood rain who had escaped the two-dimensional world. The reason Xia Qin's supreme being and the other supreme beings acted this way was only partially guessed by the ultimate beings present. The real reason was to cover up Lin Yuan's true identity. If the many ultimate beings sensed that the blood rain escaping the two-dimensional world was merely a 10th rank life, then likely all the ultimate beings present would have thoughts of attacking. What a joke, for a 10th rank life to beat and crush legendary lives of 11th rank complete like the 4 divine kings. Even the 9 supreme beings of human civilization were somewhat frightened and admitted that if other forces had such a monstrous figure, they would also take action to eliminate them. CTH Fire. NT website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. Luckily, the many ultimate beings did not think in this direction at all and just assumed the 9 supreme beings of human civilization were purely protecting that blood rain. In fact, this assumption was not wrong. If Lin Yuan had not actively revealed himself, the 9 supreme beings of human civilization would also have regarded that blood rain as a legendary life of 11th rank perfection. The two-dimensional world. Atop the heavenly mountain, Lin Yuan stood quietly in front of the heavenly gate which was gradually materializing from the ethereal. Soon, the heavenly gate was completely manifested. The thick fluctuations of spatial power rippled outward in all directions like ripples. Lin Yuan stood before the heavenly gate, not yet pushing it open, but instead letting the memories of the past 10,000 years flicker through his mind. 10,000 years, it certainly was the longest period Lin Yuan had experienced since he identified himself as an evolver. Although only a century had passed in the main universe, the 10,000 years in the two-dimensional world were still real. Lin Yuan only needed to think back slightly, and everything that had happened over the past 10,000 years appeared before his eyes. Even if I still can't push it open this time, I will still wait for the next 10,000 years, and the next one beyond that. Without yet beginning to push the heavenly gate, Lin Yuan had already prepared for the worst scenario. After all, the last time the heavenly gate opened, Lin Yuan had exerted all his strength, yet he could not move it at all, even though his strength had indeed increased significantly since then. But whether he could ultimately open the heavenly gate or not, Lin Yuan still had no confidence. Let's begin. Lin Yuan gathered his thoughts and gently placed his hands on the heavenly gate. The next moment, the originally sealed heavenly gate slowly began to open. Lin Yuan was slightly startled. He had just placed his hands on the heavenly gate without even applying any force. Yet the gate had opened? Even Lin Yuan felt that even if it weren't him standing before the heavenly gate, but rather an ordinary person, they could still easily push it open? What exactly is going on? Lin Yuan's thoughts fluctuated. 10,000 years ago, he hadn't used his physical body divine ability enhancement, yet he couldn't move the heavenly gate at all. Now he just placed his hands on it, and it easily opened? This stark contrast made Lin Yuan involuntarily speculate. Whether the heavenly gate could be opened was not related to one's own strength. Was it about whether the heavenly gate itself was willing to be opened? If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know, report, so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 762 Pushing the Door Open, Request for Subscription, _3 The term, Heaven's Gate, here is broadly defined and does not specifically refer to the Heaven's Gate before us. Perhaps it refers to some other existence? Rustling. The Heaven's Gate slowly opened. Following a brief silence, the crowd of myriad tribes' powerhouses around it burst into an uproar. Heaven's Gate. Heaven's Gate has been pushed open. I knew it. Heaven's Gate could definitely be pushed open. Last time was just an accident. The many exhilarated myriad tribes' powerhouses chatted among themselves, knowing that even though the Heaven's Gate could be opened, most of them would still not be able to enter. But at the very least, they could obtain rare items through the myriad tribes' powerhouses who did enter the gate. Even if most of those items were to be taken by this particular myriad tribes' powerhouse, it was still far better than being left in the two-dimensional world. Heaven's Gate. New confidence surged in the eyes of the four divine kings. With Lin Yuan here, his chance to enter the Heaven's Gate this time was non-existent, but next time, once Lin Yuan had left, who else in the entire two-dimensional world could compete with him for a position at the next Heaven's Gate? Before the Heaven's Gate, Lin Yuan did not step in immediately. The different difficulties in opening the Heaven's Gate twice made Lin Yuan develop other thoughts about what was inside it. Since it's been pushed, after contemplating for a moment, Lin Yuan turned back to look at the excited human evolvers and then stepped in with his right foot. If this two-dimensional world were truly governed by some spirit will that could easily alter the difficulty of opening the Heaven's Gate, then whether Lin Yuan stepped in or not was meaningless. As of now, the Heaven's Gate was his only hope of escape, and no matter his apprehensions, he had to enter. Whoosh! Lin Yuan stepped inside the Heaven's Gate. Immediately after turning tangible, the Heaven's Gate began to slowly close, fading away. The tumultuous force of the spatial energy at the summit of Heavenly Mountain quickly settled, as if it had never existed. Cosmic starry sky. At the moment Lin Yuan pushed open the Heaven's Gate, Xia Qin Supreme Being and other 9 Supreme Beings of human civilization stood ready, activating their clan suppression weapon, ready to envelop Lin Yuan the moment he appeared. Sir, the novel F.I.R. Net website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. Other ultimate entities could not sense Lin Yuan's presence through the clan suppression weapon. Thus, the greatest secret about Blood Rain was preserved. As the aura of the 9 Supreme Beings from human civilization spread, other ultimate entities also cooperated extremely well, withdrawing their perception and focusing solely on white paper itself. Time passed. Xia Qin Supreme Being and the 9 Supreme Beings of human civilization immediately sensed that something was amiss, because until the Heaven's Gate reclosed and faded away, they had detected no spatial fluctuations outside the canvas, let alone found any trace of Lin Yuan. What's going on? Where's Blood Rain? Didn't he enter the Heaven's Gate? Why hasn't he appeared yet? Not only were the 9 Supreme Beings of human civilization confused, but the other ultimate entities also felt that something was wrong. The space fluctuations stirred by the Heaven's Gate manifested in the two-dimensional world within white paper. Isn't it a spatial channel leading to the outer world? If it doesn't transport to the outer world, then where does it lead? The many Supreme Beings furrowed their brows, wondering whether Lin Yuan could successfully leave the two-dimensional world, a concern not only for human civilization. It was also a concern for many myriad tribes' powerhouses still in the two-dimensional world. If Lin Yuan entered the Heaven's Gate but did not return to the main universe, didn't that mean that when the Heaven's Gate was opened again, other myriad tribes' powerhouses who pushed open the Heaven's Gate would still be unable to return to the main universe? Xia Qin. Where has Blood Rain gone after entering the Heaven's Gate? Yeah, Xia Qin. If he has not escaped the two-dimensional world's constraints, where does that Heaven's Gate actually lead? One of the ultimate entities immediately turned to Xia Qin Supreme Being and asked. Since Blood Rain came from human civilization, Xia Qin Supreme Being could definitely contact his true body. Thus, it was vital to determine the current whereabouts of Blood Rain who had entered the Heaven's Gate. And this was something that many ultimate entities at the scene were eager to know. What's the rush? Xia Qin Supreme Being, with furrowed brows, glanced at the other ultimate entities and did not immediately try to contact Lin Yuan. Although unclear about the specific location within the Heaven's Gate, Xia Qin Supreme Being speculated that it must be a crucial place. Lin Yuan needed to gather his energy to cope. Contacting him now and disturbing Lin Yuan was not a good thing. Xia Qin Supreme Being believed that once Lin Yuan had a moment to adjust, he would take the initiative to contact him. After Lin Yuan stepped inside the Heaven's Gate, he quickly felt his spirit while being elevated, supporting a shift from two-dimensional to three-dimensional space. At the same time, Lin Yuan also became more aware that he was detaching from some world. A vast, boundless giant canvas containing a broad and vast cosmos, from which he was rapidly escaping. Is that the two-dimensional world I fell into? Lin Yuan immediately realized that the giant painting was the two-dimensional world that had trapped him for over 10,000 years. The feeling of ascension, the feeling of descent. Lin Yuan felt it very peculiar. When drawn into the painting, he hadn't had the chance to fully perceive what being demoted meant. But now, extricating from the giant painting and becoming a normal life form again provided a clear experience. Lin Yuan carefully felt for a while. Then his expression subtly changed. Because he then discovered that although he had escaped the two-dimensional world, he had not returned to the main universe. Where is this? Lin Yuan looked around. It was a vast space. Further away was an infinite expanse of murky gas, with only the giant canvas standing out prominently. At that moment, Lin Yuan also noticed an old man sitting in front of the giant canvas. In comparison to the canvas, this old man was extremely tiny, only half a meter tall, which was why Lin Yuan had initially ignored him. While Lin Yuan was observing the half-meter-tall old man, this old man was also looking at Lin Yuan with a peculiar gaze, continuously sizing him up. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know, report, so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 763 Replication of Understanding of Rules, True Versatility. Please subscribe. I've seen my elder. Lin Yuan immediately greeted. Although he didn't know exactly who the half-meter-tall elder was, the fact that he was sitting in front of the scroll suggested that he was most likely the true master of that two-dimensional world. His arrival at the heavenly gate and appearance here were probably by the elder's intent. Indeed, you are polite. Sar the novel_fire. At website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. A smile appeared on the elder's face. He had not communicated with a living being for too long, and though there were many lives in the two-dimensional world, none could pique his interest. Polite. Lin Yuan's expression remained unchanged. Facing an entity of unknown depth, was it not better to be polite rather than start a conflict? Lin Yuan was not foolish. Very well. You should now understand that this vast scroll in front of you represents the low-dimensional space you currently inhabit, the half-meter-tall elder slowly explained. This low-dimensional space is one of the earliest ones created, replicating as closely as possible a lower-dimensional world envisioned by the creator. The elder continued. Lin Yuan listened quietly. He had already gathered basic information about this low-dimensional space from the six-armed silhouette in the Shenhuang secret realm and stone statue Shenji in the demon jade space. The creator fashioned this low-dimensional space to help explore even lower-dimensional worlds, also designing it as a game world that could accommodate quintillions of lives at once, said the elder. Half-meter-tall elder glanced at Lin Yuan. Any life that falls into this low-dimensional space is considered a participant in this game, where the loser forfeits the spirit they invested, and the winner receives a reward. These are the rules of the game. A game world, Lin Yuan thought to himself. The six-armed silhouette of the Shenhuang secret realm mentioned that low-dimensional spaces are divided into entertainment and gambling types, and the gaming world the elder spoke of seemed to be of the gambling sort since it involved penalties. Now, you have emerged victorious from this game, becoming the sole winner, the elder said with a smile. The sole winner? Lin Yuan looked surprised. You don't think that the other participants in the low-dimensional space could leave, do you? There's no such possibility. From the beginning, there could only be one winner in this game, the elder stated calmly. The heavenly gate indeed was a means to leave the two-dimensional world, but it only permitted one of the myriad tribes' powerhouses to enter. Lin Yuan remained silent. He had planned to create a specialized cultivation method for himself and for beings like Shenyuan Dua, a Tier 11 evolver, to strengthen themselves and increase their chances of accessing the heavenly gate after leaving. Compared to the supreme being Xiaqin and other human civilization supreme beings, who replicated 1 to 2/10 of the two-dimensional world in the void realm world to ponder and innovate cultivation methods, Lin Yuan, who had truly experienced every bit of the two-dimensional world, had more first-hand experience than any supreme being. But now it seemed this plan was likely to fail. According to the elder, besides Lin Yuan, no other myriad tribes' powerhouses could leave the two-dimensional world. All right, since you are the victor, you may now choose your reward. The elder's tone shifted as he suddenly asked, "Tell me, what kind of reward would you like?" The elder looked at Lin Yuan. If it were any other victor, even those like the 4 divine kings at 11th rank complete legendary life, the elder wouldn't have shown such interest. But Lin Yuan, the perceptiveness he demonstrated was truly frightening. In the low-dimensional space where everything resets to square one, the path one takes depends largely on their insight. Of course, even among insights, those from higher life levels are stronger than those from lower ones, which is perfectly normal. Lin Yuan's life level wasn't the weakest among those who fell into the low-dimensional space, but it had no relation to the strongest. Yet, to break the limit of 129 realms in just over 10,000 years, the elder felt he should indeed treat him differently. A reward. Lin Yuan was slightly stunned. The 6-armed silhouette of the Shenhuang secret realm had also mentioned that those who win in the gambling-type low-dimensional space would receive a corresponding reward. However, the rewards available differed depending on the dimension of the space. "I'm not sure what the rewards are?" Lin Yuan tentatively asked. "The rewards correspond to the punishments." The elder spoke with slight verbosity. "The punishment is the permanent loss of the spirit will avatar that falls here. Therefore, the reward is the ability to take over various aspects such as the physical bodies, souls, memories, and insights into the rules, among others, of all participants in the low-dimensional game. Physical bodies, souls, bloodlines, memories, and insights into rules, among other aspects." Lin Yuan looked slightly puzzled. "That is, if you choose the physical body, you can copy anyone's physical body from those who participated in the game for your contemplation. Choosing memories works the same way, copying corresponding memories for your viewing," the elder patiently explained. The low-dimensional space could permanently strip participants of their spirit will avatars, essentially acquiring these avatars, and then part of these are bestowed upon the victor. "Is that so?" Lin Yuan thought quickly. The guiding space within the Black Planet was essentially a part of the understanding of fusion rules from a 12th rank life, forcibly segmented for other beings to comprehend. Currently, the half-meter-tall elder meant to segment the spirit wills of the myriad tribes' powerhouses who had fallen into it, allowing Lin Yuan to choose. Clearly, the segmentation in the blank paper two-dimensional world was somewhat more refined than that of the Black Planet. "Which should I choose?" Lin Yuan's thoughts whirred. Many of the myriad tribes' powerhouses that fell into the two-dimensional world were special existences, many of which were uniquely special. If their flesh and bloodlines could be perfectly segmented, it would undoubtedly be of great help to Lin Yuan, at least elevating his physical body to another level. "Elder," Lin Yuan pondered carefully and made up his mind, "I want the part that pertains to the understanding of rules." For Lin Yuan, his physical body and bloodlines were less important than the understanding of rules. The deeper his understanding of rules, the more perfect and stable his inner world would become, which would, in turn, greatly benefit his physical body. It might even increase Lin Yuan's chances of reaching the ultimate stage. "Understanding of rules, huh?" The half-meter-tall elder nodded. "Indeed, this aspect was the most precious. Your insight is among the highest I have seen." The elder thought for a moment and continued, "So I'll give you 2 more options. Do you want all the rule understandings of a certain life that participated in this game, or do you want the understanding of a particular rule from all lives participating in the game?" The elder looked at Lin Yuan. "Decide for yourself how to choose." "Which to choose?" Lin Yuan also fell into thought. The so-called all-rule understandings of certain participating life. The subject is life itself, for instance. If Lin Yuan chose the 4 divine kings, then he could obtain all rule understandings that the 4 divine kings had. Whereas the understanding of a particular rule from all participating lives, the subject is the rule itself. For example, if Lin Yuan chose the life and death samsara rule, then he could acquire all understandings of the life and death samsara rule from all myriad tribes' powerhouses who fell into the two-dimensional world. Different lives, even if they contemplate the same rule, have different understandings and insights. Just as the space rules have many facets, Comprehending the complete space rules is only understanding one aspect. Even supreme beings cannot master all aspects of space rules. The same goes for other rules and fusion rules. Even powers like the four divine kings cannot guarantee that their perception of rules is the most perfect or comprehensive. It can only represent themselves. If the understanding of a certain rule from all myriad tribes powerhouses who fell into the two-dimensional world could be integrated and interact with each other, it might not be perfect, but it would most certainly be much stronger than that of any individual powerhouse. Pillar-level fusion rules are differentiated from first realm to ninth realm, indicating the depth of understanding of a particular pillar-level fusion rule. Without a doubt, the higher the realm, the more comprehensive and perfect the understanding of such pillar-level fusion rules. I choose the rule. I want the complete understanding of the spatiotemporal fusion rule. Lin Yuan spoke. The spatiotemporal fusion rule was one of the most complex and obscure among all fusion rules. Actually, to say that isn't quite accurate. The most obscure and complex fusion rule isn't the spatiotemporal fusion rule, but the chaos rule. However, the chaos rule isn't considered a fusion rule anymore. It is the origin of all rules, and none of the myriad tribes powerhouses who fell into the two-dimensional world, to Lin Yuan's knowledge, have any insight into the chaos rule, hence his choice of the spatiotemporal fusion rule. The spatiotemporal fusion rule? The elder nodded. Choosing this, you might need to wait a bit longer. No problem, Lin Yuan immediately said. Having waited for 10,000 years, he didn't mind waiting a little longer. After finishing, the elder's gaze returned to the vast scroll, while Lin Yuan sat cross-legged next to him, quietly waiting. The flow of time here seems to be no different from that of the main universe. Lin Yuan's true body and the Taiyin primordial spirit were in the main universe, able to sense the flow of time between them. Milky Way main star. Lin Yuan's true form opened his eyes. His consciousness began to connect to the virtual world, applying for entry into Xia Qin Supreme Being's personal world. Lin Yuan's application was almost instantly approved, and in the blink of an eye, he appeared in front of Xia Qin Supreme Being. Supreme Being. Lin Yuan bowed slightly, aware that Xia Qin Supreme Being had been waiting for him. How did it go? Xia Qin Supreme Being looked at Lin Yuan and asked with concern. What exactly is beyond the gateway? I didn't notice any spatial fluctuations from that white paper. Where were you sent? And are you safe now? Xia Qin Supreme Being quickly asked. I am very safe now, Lin Yuan immediately said. That's good to hear. Xia Qin Supreme Being sighed in relief. As long as he was unharmed, there was room for easing the situation. I have met the true dominion of the white paper two-dimensional world. Lin Yuan pondered for a while before speaking. The true dominion? Xia Qin Supreme Being was startled. Search the novel Fire. Net website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc. Please let us know, report, so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 764 Fusion of Time and Space. Thanks to the Alliance Hierarch reward from the book friend_virtual world. With a solemn expression, Xia Qin Supreme Being spoke from his throne. Are you saying that the white paper already has an owner? In the main universe's past, objects from beyond often squeezed through the eternal spatial rift. Most of these objects were inanimate. For instance, the recent cosmic aurora from beyond. However, a small portion were living beings. During the years when human civilization lay dormant, an odd life form squeezed through the eternal spatial rift on the large battlefield carved out by the insect race and the Tianyu clan. This odd life form nearly brought an irreversible disaster to the cosmic starry skies. In the end, over a dozen supreme beings joined hands and barely managed to exile the odd life form back to the outside of the universe. In comparison, the uncertainty of living beings is far greater, enough to make even the ultimate beings vigilant. If what Lin Yuan said is correct, then the white paper already has an owner, and it resides within the white paper itself. Then, these ultimate beings would have to reassess how to deal with it. It cannot be said to have an owner, but at least it has birthed a spirit, possessing an independent will, Lin Yuan spoke of his conjecture. According to the half-meter-tall elder's words, the two-dimensional world within the white paper was likely created by an existence close to that of a perfect time being. Yet, the half-meter-tall elder himself did not seem like one close to a perfect time being. He was more like an existence akin to a spirit, or perhaps a caretaker casually created by the original being close to a perfect time being. As long as it possesses an independent will, it is considered a living being. Xia Qin Supreme Being furrowed his brows. No wonder these past 100 years, our multiple attempts at refining it have yielded no results. With the means of ultimate beings, if it truly were ownerless, it wouldn't completely be refined, but at least there would be some hope. But in reality, their methods of refining the white paper were completely without any feedback. There is another matter, Lin Yuan hesitated before continuing. The evolvers of my human civilization, once entered into the two-dimensional world, will likely not be able to come back out. Immediately, Lin Yuan repeated the half-meter-tall elder's words. Only one from the myriad clans' lives that fall into the two-dimensional world can ultimately walk out. Lin Yuan conveyed truthfully. So that's how it is. Xia Qin Supreme Being fell silent for a while before swiftly accepting the fact. If Lin Yuan were not involved, the human civilization's evolvers would have had no chance of leaving based on normal progression. If Lin Yuan hadn't fallen into the two-dimensional world, it should have been the stage for special life forms, and the ultimate victor would have likely been those of legendary special beings like the four divine kings. Lin Yuan becoming the final victor inside the two-dimensional world had already pleased Xia Qin Supreme Being immensely, if only because it meant not facing fundamental loss. Moreover, Lin Yuan mentioned that the final victor would receive a corresponding reward. Of course, as for what that reward was, Xia Qin Supreme Being didn't ask further. It was Lin Yuan's own fortune. It's very good. Do not feel burdened. It's not because of you that they can't come out. Xia Qin Supreme Being offered a few words of comfort to Lin Yuan. The fact remained just that, and even Lin Yuan's appearance had mitigated some of the loss. After all, he had brought out many strange objects. Even if Lin Yuan took half and human civilization took a portion of what remained, to each human evolver, these objects were still immensely precious. Even if they couldn't restore the fundamental loss of numerous human evolvers, they could compensate for most of it in other ways. No one else knows about this, right? Xia Qin Supreme Being suddenly inquired. They should not. Lin Yuan pondered for a moment before nodding. Even he only speculated this from the difficulty change when the heavenly gates opened twice, and after entering the gates seeing the half-meter-tall elder to have it fully confirmed. As for other myriad clan lives, they never even had the chance to be in contact with the heavenly gates, let alone think in this direction or be aware of the issue. Two-dimensional world. Lin Yuan sat obediently in the corner, secretly observing his surroundings. Are you wondering? The lives that entered the heavenly gates depicted in the scroll, where are they now? The half-meter-tall elder glanced at Lin Yuan before the massive scroll and casually commented. I'm just a bit curious. Lin Yuan admitted he had been pondering this. How long is the history in the two-dimensional world? It's likely calculated in cosmic eras. Going by the heavenly gates opening every 10,000 years, there should have been a large number of lives leaving the two-dimensional world. S.E.A. the novel F. Iyer. NT website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. The creator of this low-dimensional space, that existence close to a perfect time being, was benevolent, believing that even the most insignificant low-dimensional life should have the freedom to break free from all. Hence, the heavenly gates open once every 10,000 years, said the half-meter-tall elder. Any life that steps through the heavenly gates can shed the nature of a low-dimensional life. I usually toss them into a nearby universe. Oh, and for your universe, I've thrown in quite a few. A large number of them have already died off, the half-meter-tall elder said casually. The initial intention behind creating this low-dimensional space was to explore even lower dimensions. Secondly, it was discovered that if one parts with a sliver of spiritual will, it enables a comparison of understanding from the same starting point. This latter purpose gradually became the main use of this low-dimensional space. Over the long years of continuous improvement, a complete low-dimensional world was fostered, with endless low-dimensional lives proliferating within it. Later, following a major upheaval, this low-dimensional space fell silent within the Taiyuan relic. As cosmic eras passed by, it was ejected again by the various forces within the relic, and it automatically began to absorb all nearby lives, sucking them into the two-dimensional world. Search the novel Fire. Net website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 765 Fusion of Time and Space. Thanks to the Alliance Hierarch reward from the book friend _2. As long as the number of lives that fall into the two-dimensional world is sufficient, this low-dimensional space will slowly come to a halt and start a new round of the game. These fixed programs are imprinted at the very depths of white paper that even the half-meter-tall elder must abide by. Upon hearing this, Lin Yuan fell into a brief silence. Actually, escaping low-dimensional space isn't necessarily a good thing for those lives within the two-dimensional world. The Witch Emperor and Witch Ancestor, who once commanded great power in the two-dimensional world, might become extremely feeble in the main universe. Though their potential is substantially increased, how many can actually reach that potential? Just as the half-meter-tall elder said, the majority of lives thrown into nearby low-dimensional spaces would die in a short time, and the few who lasted a while longer would also perish. Lin Yuan looked into the distance at that huge scroll and faintly sensed changes occurring within the scroll. The flow of time? Lin Yuan's expression was grave, as he felt fluctuations in the flow of time within the scroll becoming tumultuous. In order to take away all understanding of rules from the game participants, they naturally need to be dead, the half-meter-tall elder rarely explained. 100-fold time flow rate is too slow. I'll speed it up a bit. As soon as the half-meter-tall elder finished speaking, Lin Yuan noticed that the rate of time within the scroll had reached 1,000,000 to 1, 10,000,000 to 1. Inside the two-dimensional world, the 4 divine kings and many other myriad tribes powerhouses witnessed Lin Yuan entering the Heavenly Gate, which then quickly dissipated. They each left Heavenly Mountain, waiting for the next time the Heavenly Gate would open. Being 11th rank life, their aptitude for comprehension was naturally top-notch. After expending vast amounts of time and energy, they had also conceived some methods to extend their lifespan. Moreover, with the Ancestor Witch's 30 realms and the 40 realms lifespan extension abilities, it wasn't difficult to survive tens of thousands or even 100,000 years. Next time the Heavenly Gate opens, it must be me who enters. The 4 divine kings had ample confidence in their heart. Just then, the complexion of the 4 divine kings changed slightly. Through the coordinates of their true bodies outside, they clearly felt the changes in the flow of time within the two-dimensional world. From the original 100 to 1, it began to skyrocket without limit. A little over 10 minutes in the main universe. 10,000 years passed within the two-dimensional world. The third opening of the Heavenly Gate arrived. This time, when the Heavenly Gate opened, the 4 divine kings swept all corners and stood in front of the gate. However, what awaited them was the Heavenly Gate, immovable. 10,000 years, 20,000 years, 50,000 years, 100,000 years. Time and time again, the 4 divine kings stood in front of the Heavenly Gate, only to find that they could not push it open, eventually dying as avatars with great unwillingness in the two-dimensional world. What's going on? Why has this white paper undergone such a change? The difference in the flow of time is so vast? Sar the novel _fire. At website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. Outside, many ultimate beings were enraged, especially the supreme beings of the Star Alliance and those of the Yu clan, who had paid a huge price to allow their kin to survive under the hands of Blood Rain. And they died inside after all? What then was the price they had paid earlier for? Xiaqin, what exactly is happening? The supreme beings of Star Alliance immediately looked at Xiaqin's supreme being, as the change in the flow of time within the two-dimensional world of white paper had occurred after Blood Rain entered. If they were to say there was no connection at all, the ultimate beings present would not believe it. How am I supposed to know what's happening? Xiaqin Supreme Being shook his head, After my human evolver blood rain entered the heavenly gate, we lost control over the avatar, suffering a foundational loss. Xiaqin Supreme being quickly made something up. After all, such a matter cannot be proven. Anything goes. You don't really think that a mere 11th rank life can control this white paper, do you? Xiaqin Supreme being retorted. Any ultimate being could see that the white paper contained vast energy, certainly well beyond that of an individual supreme being. Otherwise, it wouldn't have left dozens of ultimate beings at a loss for over 100 years. I suspect that this white paper is actually a living being with its own will. The fate of all the lives that fall into it is already predetermined, Xiaqin Supreme being said. Ever since hearing some information about this white paper from Lin Yuan, Xiaqin Supreme being had thought up an explanation. A living being? The ultimate beings glanced at each other. This speculation was not impossible, especially now that the flow of time within white paper was actively changing, which clearly signified a will driving this event. Could that will belong to that human blood rain? Blood rain had just entered the heavenly gate. Moreover, at the level of an 11th rank life, the thought of refining this white paper was nothing short of a fantasy. Inside white paper, Lin Yuan watched as tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of years passed by in the blink of an eye within the huge scroll. Even for ultimate lives that had stepped out of the river of time, maintaining such an exaggerated ratio in a short time would come at a cost. Let alone the half-meter-tall elder maintaining the range of time ratio for an entire two-dimensional world. Whoosh! The half-meter-tall elder constantly played with both hands on the huge scroll, with resplendent light emerging from within the scroll which then gathered in the elder's hands. Time went by slowly. In the blink of an eye, more than a month had passed. Now, in the hands of the half-meter-tall elder, a fist-sized luminous sphere had condensed. Lin Yuan merely glanced at it from a distance and felt an infinite essence of time and space flowing over it. Is that the understanding of the spatio-temporal fusion rules from all the myriad tribes' powerhouses within the scroll? Lin Yuan's spirit was slightly uplifted. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know, report, so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 766 Fusion of Time and Space. Thanks to the Alliance Hierarch reward from _3 stripping away one's understanding of a certain rule, especially if it's done forcibly, seems like an impossible thing to do. Within the Black Planet, the fusion rules of the 12 guiding spaces are directed by ultimate life and are also voluntarily stripped away by ultimate life itself. But now, the understandings of the spatio-temporal fusion rule by more than 100 million powerhouses of the myriad tribes have all converged into that luminous orb. Lin Yuan speculated that this was achieved through the means of dimensional reduction, by degrading the essence of life, then cutting it out. This method could only be useful for life below the 12th rank. As for the 12th rank ultimate being, they could completely resist the power of dimensional reduction. Even if they fell into a low-dimensional space, it would be impossible to sever their understanding of the rules. The essence of a 12th rank life is there, not as easily manipulated as an 11th rank life. All right. The half-meter-tall elder looked at the luminous orb in his hand and then turned to Lin Yuan. Senior. Lin Yuan immediately stood up. This is yours now. With a gentle toss from the half-meter-tall elder, the luminous orb flew towards Lin Yuan. This? Lin Yuan, merely looking at it up close and not yet touching it, was already engrossed. An endless flood of insights about the spatio-temporal fusion rule poured into his mind. Your perceptiveness is against the heavens. Watching the origin of the fusion of the rule of time and space rules, your understanding of the spatio-temporal fusion rule has greatly increased. Over the past 100 years, Lin Yuan, in addition to perceiving the 12 pillar-level fusion rules on the Black Planet, would also ponder the spatio-temporal fusion rule. After all, the spatio-temporal fusion rule has a significant connection with the assault on the ultimate, and being able to perceive the spatio-temporal fusion rule at the 10th rank could make his own inner world more perfect. In the future, when Lin Yuan challenges Tier 11, the benefits gained from the Chaos Void Origin infusion will be even greater. Whether it's the infusion of Cosmic Origin or the Chaos Void Origin infusion, essentially it's about filling a basin with water. Whether that basin is only half a meter in size or as large as a lake, ultimately it will be filled with the origin that is poured in within 333 seconds. Hence, the larger the basin, the more water it can hold, the more terrifying the transformation that occurs. The basin here essentially refers to the inner world. And perceiving the spatiotemporal fusion rule is tantamount to being able to make the inner world more perfect and complete, so as to withstand more of the origin. Originally, Lin Yuan's perception of the spatiotemporal fusion rule progressed slowly, and he even had no hope of perceiving it at the 10th rank. This was only to be expected, as it's nearly impossible for a 10th rank life to perceive the rule of time, let alone the fusion of space and time rules. In this cosmic era, and even in the past 10 cosmic eras, such a thing has never happened. But now, looking at the luminous orb before him, Lin Yuan truly felt that his understanding of the spatiotemporal fusion rule was improving every second. Your perceptiveness is against the heavens. Watching the origin of the fusion of the rule of time and space rules, your understanding of the spatiotemporal fusion rule has greatly increased. Lin Yuan intently gazed at the luminous orb before him. At this moment, his entire spirit, including his true body, the Taiyin primordial spirit, and many incarnations, all gave up what they were doing to start comprehending the luminous orb. In front of the huge scroll, after the half-meter-tall elder tossed the luminous orb to Lin Yuan, he noticed that the latter's attention was completely immersed in it. He's actually started having a sudden enlightenment? The half-meter-tall elder raised his eyebrows, but he was not surprised. For any powerhouse, sudden enlightenment is a rare opportunity, during which one's understanding could skyrocket. Even for 12th rank life, it is extremely difficult to experience such enlightenment. But Lin Yuan, the half-meter-tall elder, had deep impressions. Without being a 12th rank life, his perceptiveness was stronger than most 12th rank lives, and by quite a lot, completely defying any logic. Lin Yuan falling into sudden enlightenment actually seemed entirely normal to the half-meter-tall elder. I wonder how great the improvement from this enlightenment will be. Regarding the rule of spatiotemporal fusion, perhaps he can make further progress? The half-meter-tall elder speculated with interest. Even with such direct understanding of the rules like the luminous orb, absorbing it is not an overnight affair. It's like a person who is extremely hungry in front of a cart of steamed buns. To satisfy the hunger, even if they open up their stomach without any restrictions, from putting the buns in the mouth to swallowing them and then digesting, time is required nonetheless. Of course, this time frame compared to normal comprehension, that is, the complex processes from making a bun from scratch, planting the wheat seeds, growing the wheat, making it into flour, and finally making the buns, is much simpler by far. But no matter how simple, it still takes time. Your perceptiveness is against the heavens. Watching the origin of the fusion of the rule of time and space rules, you have perceived the spatiotemporal fusion rule, SEA the Oval Fire. At website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. On the Milky Way main star, Lin Yuan sat cross-legged, and the numerous inspirations about the fusion rule of time and space that emerged in his mind finally led to a qualitative change. At that moment, time and space completely lost their boundaries before Lin Yuan, and the two could easily fuse together. So that's how it is. Lin Yuan's expression showed realization, as strands of the rule of time and space rules power continuously merged, converging into a new force that possessed both aspects of space and time, yet was more than that. This was the power of the spatiotemporal fusion rule. Among the many fusion rules, the spatiotemporal fusion rule is definitely the most powerful. So that's how it is. Within white paper, Lin Yuan's expression also revealed a look of realization. Raising his right hand, the forces of time and space seemed like playthings, intertwining and merging at his fingertips. He has perceived the spatiotemporal fusion rule just like that? Not far away, the half-meter-tall elder, observing Lin Yuan, couldn't help but reveal a look of astonishment. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know, report, so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 767 Setting Sail Again. End of this volume. Thanks to the Alliance Hierarch reward from _ What a monstrous talent. The half-meter-tall old man marveled to himself, for he had discerned that Lin Yuan's comprehension of the spatiotemporal fusion rule was not profound when he was in the two-dimensional world. There was an unimaginably long distance to go before he could enlighten the spatiotemporal fusion rule. This time, by offering Lin Yuan the insight into the spatiotemporal fusion rule he had cut off, he merely speculated that Lin Yuan would take a big step toward that enlightenment at most. But who could have imagined that Lin Yuan would directly enlighten the spatiotemporal fusion rule? As long as he can overcome the challenge of the 12th rank life, perhaps he may one day grow close to the heights of a perfect time being? The half-meter-tall old man silently pondered. Being close to a perfect time being was the highest praise he could think of. As for a real perfect time being, they could easily traverse numerous timelines, able to reverse the past and alter the future at will. A perfect time being is an existence that transcends dimensions and cannot be described in terms of normal life. Milky Way main star. After Lin Yuan enlightened the spatiotemporal fusion rule, his consciousness immediately descended into his inner world. Source: web novel. Com. Updated on N0 New 0. Boom boom boom. As time and space completely merged, his inner world began to transform, and while its superficial size remained the same, the number of spatial layers instantly reached 100 billion. And seemingly intangible, every aspect of his inner world saw significant improvement. My inner world now. If I were to undergo the Chaos Void Origin Infusion once more, it would withstand an Origin Infusion over 10,000 times more than when breaking through from the 9th to the 10th rank. Lin Yuan had an idea. His enlightenment of the spatiotemporal fusion rule had brought him an enormous boost. Even within the ranks of 11th rank lives, this was a metamorphosis entering the 4th layer of the 11th tier. That crystal light group. Lin Yuan's spirit was exhilarated. Encased within the crystal light group were the comprehensions regarding the spatiotemporal fusion rule from all the myriad tribes powerhouses that had fallen into the two-dimensional world. This naturally included the insights from legendary lives like the 4 divine kings and the skinny old man, who were at the level 11 perfection, regarding the spatiotemporal fusion rule. And these legendary lives had all reached the 5th realm in the spatiotemporal fusion rule. In other words, the minimum threshold for that crystal light group is to elevate Lin Yuan's understanding of the spatiotemporal fusion rule to the 5th realm. And the limit? With over 100 million myriad tribes powerhouses different facets of understanding the spatiotemporal fusion rule, a quantitative change could induce a qualitative change, possibly enabling Lin Yuan to step into the 6th realm in the spatiotemporal fusion rule domain in one fell swoop. It's known that fusion rules range from the 1st realm to the 9th realm. A 7th realm in an ordinary fusion rule is the maximum level obtainable by an 11th rank life. And the 7th realm in pillar-level fusion rules is the domain of ultimate beings. As for the 7th realm in a top-level fusion rule like the spatiotemporal fusion rule, let alone the 7th realm, even the 6th realm is something only ultimate beings can enlighten. If Lin Yuan were to practice the spatiotemporal fusion rule to the 6th realm, it would mean that he could, in some aspects, stand shoulder to shoulder with an ultimate being. The space-time fusion rule's 6-fold realm is still too far away. Lin Yuan steadied his spirit. Such a leap into the space-time fusion rule's 6-fold realm was in theory only. A quantitative change inducing a qualitative change is true, but if understanding from merely 100 million myriad tribes powerhouses could achieve the 6th realm, then the domain of ultimate beings would seem rather cheap. And among these 100 million myriad tribes powerhouses, the vast majority were 8th and 9th rank, with a rather one-sided understanding of the spatiotemporal fusion rule. Within the white paper, after enlightening the spatiotemporal fusion rule, Lin Yuan collected his thoughts and bowed slightly towards the half-meter-tall old man. Thank you, Elder. Although it's true that Lin Yuan's insights into the spatiotemporal fusion rule came entirely from the rules of the low-dimensional space, it's always right to be polite. No need to thank me. All this is what you deserve. The half-meter-tall old man looked deeply at Lin Yuan. The same spatiotemporal fusion rule insights that could take other strong beings centuries to absorb just a portion and thereby enlighten the spatiotemporal fusion rule. Yet Lin Yuan only spent less than half an hour. The gap is something anyone could see. Now that the game is over, as for those participants who died, the essence and mysteries of their physical bodies, their understanding of other rules, their soul core, and so on. Keeping them myself would be of no use. Would you want them? The half-meter-tall old man asked after a moment of silence. Ah, these I can have? Sar the Novel Fire, any *T website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. Lin Yuan looked at the half-meter-tall old man in bewilderment. Weren't we supposed to choose only one? Why can we choose everything now? According to the rules, you can only choose one, but I have the authority to handle the rest, and keeping them here would be a waste, the half-meter-tall old man explained. Then I want them, Lin Yuan immediately said. What a joke. Given the exaggerated effect of watching the crystal light group just now, if Lin Yuan were to hesitate, he'd truly be a fool. It's like an enormous stroke of fortune falling from the sky. Then they're yours, the half-meter-tall old man said without hesitation, waving his right hand, and 4 more crystal light groups appeared, flying towards Lin Yuan. Compared with the crystal light group that represented the understanding of the spatiotemporal fusion rule, these 4 light groups were much murkier and nowhere near as pure as the former. These 4 parts, I did not especially purify. You might encounter some disturbances during your comprehension, the half-meter-tall old man cautioned. Understood. Lin Yuan nodded. Even if they were murkier, comprehending them would be far simpler than directly understanding the fusion rules, equivalent to a shortcut to the heavens. If possible, try to comprehend the chaos rules before you challenge the 12th rank. The half-meter-tall elder pondered for a while before he spoke. Chaos rules. Lin Yuan put away the 5 sparkling orbs and looked toward the half-meter-tall elder seated before the huge scroll. This was not the first time Lin Yuan had heard of the chaos rules. Shenji from the Demon Jade Space, the spirit of the Shenhuang secret realm, and Xiaqin, the supreme being, had all mentioned the chaos rules. Correct. Of course, don't pursue the chaos rules too eagerly. After all, for lives below the 12th rank, they are but a legend, said the half-meter-tall elder. Seeing Lin Yuan's displayed perceptiveness, combined with the understanding of rules from over 100 million powerhouses, gave the half-meter-tall elder an inexplicable confidence. All right, Lin Yuan nodded. To comprehend the chaos rules would be greatly beneficial for challenging the ultimate. If possible, Lin Yuan would naturally do his best to understand them. This game is over. It's time for me to leave, the half-meter-tall elder sighed. He controlled white paper and stayed within this universe, which seemed to the outside world as if he were being prevented from leaving by the actions of many supreme beings. But in reality, it was after absorbing enough lives into the scroll, followed by the start of the game, that he stopped, which was more a matter of going with the flow. Leave. Lin Yuan looked at the half-meter-tall elder. Yes. How do you plan to leave? Will you head out directly? Or should I send you to a hidden location? The half-meter-tall elder asked. Aware of many 12th rank lives peeking outside the scroll, he had naturally taken notice well in advance. Therefore, he made a point of asking Lin Yuan. Send me to a hidden location, Lin Yuan said without hesitation. Going out directly would be like exposing himself to numerous ultimate entities. If it were before, when the many powerhouses of the myriad tribes in the two-dimensional world were not yet dead, there probably wouldn't be any serious trouble, as long as the 9 supreme beings of human civilization swiftly concealed Lin Yuan's aura to prevent it from leaking the life aura of the 10th rank. But now, in the two-dimensional world, apart from Lin Yuan, the other powerhouses of the myriad tribes had died out, becoming nourishment for Lin Yuan's growth. The spatio-temporal fusion rule was comprehended directly, not without the support of the 4 divine kings and many other special lives. Going out at this time is not to say that the 9 supreme beings of human civilization could not protect him, but it would definitely trigger a grand battle at the level of the 12th stage powerhouses. No problem, said the half-meter-tall elder with a nod. He had a way to elude the perception of the 12th rank powerhouses. Previously, when he sent out the native lives that had entered the celestial gate in the two-dimensional world, it was also done quietly, without any ultimate entities knowing. Outside the scroll, the numerous supreme beings covertly surrounded the mysterious scroll. Ever since their own people died in the two-dimensional world and after Xiaqin, the supreme being, guided the reasoning towards white paper being a living creature, The many supreme beings were considering using force against white paper. At that moment, buzz, 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 under the astonished gazes of all the supreme beings, the slowly unfolding mysterious scroll began to sway slightly. Every sway stirred up millions, tens of millions, hundreds of millions of light-years of space-time fluctuations. Not good. The white paper wants to leave. The numerous supreme beings changed their expressions, immediately sensing white paper's intent. But it was to no avail. Even with the combined efforts of all the supreme beings to suppress it, they still couldn't stop white paper. Boom! Immense powers of space-time churned, and white paper, breaking free from the supreme being's suppression, began to fly through the cosmic starry skies at a terrifying speed. Soon, a vast crack appeared, and white paper smoothly rushed into the fissure, leaving this universe. The next moment, the numerous supreme beings arrived in time to see the now vanished white paper, their expressions turning ugly. Supreme beings receive too many gifts from the universe. Once they enter the chaos void, they will face the repulsion of the entire universe, so no supreme being dares to pursue. We've suffered a great loss this time, the supreme being from the Star Alliance thought bitterly. In this event, the unique lives of their Star Alliance faced fundamental losses, and even the hope that was the four divine kings with their prospect of reaching the ultimate would see reduced chances of challenging the ultimate because of this event. Besides, the Star Alliance also lost a supreme weapon, the one that the four divine kings had taken into the two-dimensional world. Milky Way main star. Lin Yuan looked towards the space rift that white paper had entered from afar. White paper squeezed into the universe and now extricated itself from it in just over 100 years, but its impact on the starry sky races was profound, particularly for Lin Yuan. Compared to the other starry sky races, the losses of strength for the various peak clans, Lin Yuan's gain can be described as unprecedented. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 768 Inventory Gains. Subscribe requested. In the depths of the cosmic starry skies. This is a desolate star domain, where, for hundreds of thousands of light-years around, not a single planet is seen. Just then, a slight spatial fluctuation sent out ripples, and Lin Yuan's figure appeared out of nowhere. Where is this? The territory of the Star Alliance? Lin Yuan immediately used the position of his true body as a coordinate to determine his current location. I didn't expect that the white paper senior would send me here. Lin Yuan shook his head slightly. Before leaving this universe, the half-meter-tall elder had casually tossed Lin Yuan out. And according to Lin Yuan, the farther away the better, given that there were dozens of ultimate beings surrounding white paper at the time. Being thrown too close, causing ultimate beings who were adept at the space Great Tao to detect abnormalities, would have been troublesome. I wonder if he'll have the chance to meet White Paper Senior again. Lin Yuan mused from within the depths of multiple spatial layers, looking towards a far distant point where a massive spatial crack was slowly healing. The trip to the low-dimensional space had made a deep impression on Lin Yuan and given him more speculation about the door to the myriad realms. Sar the Nelfer. Net website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. So-called low-dimensional spaces are merely the product created by those near-perfect temporal beings to explore other dimensions. That is to say, even beings nearing perfect temporal life cannot break dimensional limitations and wander through different dimensions. But the door to the myriad realms? It easily accomplishes this feat. Could it be that the door to the myriad realms is a treasure at the level of perfect temporal life? Lin Yuan hypothesized in his mind. From the half-meter-tall elder, he had learned of the terrifying nature of perfect temporal life, almost omnipotent, capable of easily overturning timelines if they wished. Forget it. Thinking about this now is too premature. Lin Yuan reined in his thoughts. He wasn't even a supreme being now, considering perfect temporal life was meaningless. Anyway, the door to the myriad realms already recognized him as its master. Once his power reached that level, everything would become clear. I should head back as soon as possible. After surveying his surroundings and confirming there were no powerful beings from the Star Alliance nearby, Lin Yuan immediately planned to return to the territory of human civilization. The Star Alliance's territory is vast, but it's a typical case of wide land with few people. After all, the Star Alliance is primarily made up of many special life forms. And special life forms do not have the reproductive capabilities like human civilizations. Even the most common special life form probably takes decades or even hundreds of years for a single reproductive cycle. Of course, the insect race has the strongest reproductive ability. However, the insect race creating insect race warriors doesn't entirely count as reproduction, as insect race warriors are completely controlled by the queen with no independent will, so they don't qualify as life. As for reproduction among the formal members of the insect race, it takes even longer than most special life forms. Let's go. Lin Yuan took a step, disappeared, and reappeared a million light-years away. Having grasped the spatiotemporal fusion rule, the speed at which Lin Yuan traveled had increased by who knows how much. A single step covering a million light-years was already the result of him actively restraining himself to prevent causing too large of a spatial fluctuation that might attract the attention of powerful special life forms within the territory. If Lin Yuan were to go all out, he could easily take a step spanning 10 million light-years, or even tens of millions of light-years. In short, since grasping the spatiotemporal fusion rule, distance had lost much of its meaning to Lin Yuan. If Lin Yuan could elevate the spatiotemporal fusion rule to the second realm, the third realm, the distance he could cross in one step would only increase. What if I combined it with the 9 steps of space-time? Lin Yuan shook his head slightly, deciding to wait for an opportunity to test his ultimate speed. The Milky Way main star. Lin Yuan sat cross-legged, a smile appearing on his face. The trip into the two-dimensional world, though fraught with great danger that risked erasing his Taiyang divine spirit completely, thus affecting the foundation of his martial Tao, was, at the same time, hugely rewarding as long as he could get out smoothly. The first gain was everything from the myriad tribes' powerhouses, their physical bodies, souls, and many other mysteries, as well as their understanding and comprehension of the rules, all of which fell into Lin Yuan's hands. Although according to the half-meter-tall elder's intention, except for the spatiotemporal fusion rule comprehension, other aspects were all unrefined and unpurified. Therefore Lin Yuan had to be a bit more careful when studying them, but it was still far beyond his expectations and countless times easier than starting from scratch. Next came the exotic objects. Being able to wander every corner of the two-dimensional world for 10,000 years, Lin Yuan naturally acquired quite a few exotic objects. These objects were not very useful in the two-dimensional world, at least not to Lin Yuan, who was invincible in that world at the time. They made no difference to him. But as soon as he brought them out, they would be considered 12-star strange treasures. If I had known that only one victor could exist, I could have extorted those peak clans again. Lin Yuan shook his head slightly. During the second opening of the Heaven's Gate, when Lin Yuan pushed it open, the other powerhouses of the myriad clans instinctively believed that they could do the same, so they didn't plan to let Lin Yuan bring out the exotic objects. Actually, there was no need for the Taiyang divine spirit to rush. A thought occurred to Lin Yuan. He suddenly remembered he had another identity, that of the master of the Shenhuang secret realm. The Shenhuang secret realm, founded by Shenhuang, is rooted in this universe. As its master, Lin Yuan could directly enter the Shenhuang secret realm with the assistance of the Shenhuang seal, as long as he was within this universe. Then, through the transfer of the Shenhuang secret realm, he could return to the Milky Way star region. Within the territory of the Star Alliance, the traveling Lin Yuan stopped, then activated the Shenhuang seal deep within his soul, and his figure quickly vanished, getting pulled into the Shenhuang secret realm. Search the novel Fire. Net website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 769 Inventory Gains. Subscribe requested. _2-inch Master. The six-armed silhouette stood respectfully, bowing to Lin Yuan. As the spirit of the Shenhuang secret realm, It could sense every change within the secret realm. Naturally, it was aware of Lin Yuan's entrance. You may leave now. Lin Yuan glanced at the six-armed silhouette and gave the order. Yes. The six-armed silhouette respectfully withdrew. Now it's safe. Lin Yuan's mind relaxed. Despite being on the Milky Way main star, he was not entirely safe, carrying many extraordinary items. However, in the Shenhuang secret realm, there was no danger at all. Let's take a look at this silver mirror. Lin Yuan directly took out the silver mirror. Buzz. Freed from the constraints of the two-dimensional world, the silver mirror seemed to awaken, emitting vast spatial fluctuations, like a small universe being opened up. As the lord of the Shenhuang secret realm, though, Lin Yuan, who could mobilize the entire realm's power, didn't feel any pressure. After bringing it out, do I need to refine it to reopen the space it contains? Lin Yuan appeared contemplative. In the main universe, the might of the silver mirror, an ultimate weapon, was reviving. Refining it was necessary to utilize it even at a basic level. Of course, refining the silver mirror wasn't difficult for Lin Yuan. Back in the two-dimensional world, Lin Yuan had already poured a massive amount of mental energy into it, tantamount to half refining it. Continuing to refine it now was merely the natural course of things, a task he could complete in 1 or 2 months at most. Of course, it was just the refining part. To fully unleash this ultimate weapon and bring its power back to life, Lin Yuan at his current level couldn't manage. Only after reaching Tier 11 and undergoing a vast and transformative enhancement of his strength would it be possible. In human civilization's history, occasionally powerful evolvers wielding ultimate weapons would venture into medium and small-sized otherworldly battlefields, creating permanent spatial rifts. In fact, it was supreme beings behind the scenes driving the ultimate weapons, not ordinary 11th rank evolvers. Even if they exhausted all their strength, they couldn't deal a 12th rank level blow with an ultimate weapon. During the period of refining the silver mirror, Lin Yuan took out 5 radiant orbs of light. These were Lin Yuan's rewards as the victor. As for those extraordinary items, they were things Lin Yuan had painstakingly searched for in the two-dimensional world and didn't count as rewards. Among the 5 radiant orbs, one had a pure aura, precisely representing the spatio-temporal understanding of the myriad tribes' powerhouses. As for the other 4 orbs, they seemed slightly turbid. Let's check this orb. Lin Yuan randomly selected one of the 4 orbs and cautiously probed into it with his mind. In an instant, Lin Yuan's consciousness began to roar. Lin Yuan was astounded. He had become a mammoth flame giant, incredibly lofty, millions of kilometers tall, currently lying asleep in an immense sea of magma. Is this the turbid Fire King? An 11th rank complete legendary life? Lin Yuan immediately recognized the other based on the features of the flame giant. The turbid Fire King, a skinny old man who during the first opening of the Heaven's Gate had teamed up with 4 other 11th rank, complete legendary strength individuals, attempting to besiege the 4 divine kings. In the two-dimensional world, the turbid Fire King had a thin build, but in the main universe, he was a unique life form, only slightly inferior to the 4 divine kings and mother of the tree realm. Otherwise, he wouldn't have tried to besiege the divine kings. It's too incredible. Lin Yuan felt every aspect of the flame giant's body vividly. The minutiae of its physical structure, the numerous innate abilities it possessed, even the profound laws involved in the flame giant's mere breath captivated Lin Yuan. Is this what makes a unique life form unparalleled? Lin Yuan withdrew his mind from the orb, his eyes filled with awe. Compared to humans, unique life forms were too powerful, especially the unparalleled ones like the flame giant, born at 6th rank, who could grow to 9th or 10th rank by merely taking a nap, reaching 11th rank effortlessly. Sir, the Oval Fire. At website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. Among the Starry Sky races, even those with peak lineage like the Starry Sky Wanderer Kuan were only 6th rank as adults. To advance to 7th and 8th rank, they had to rely on their own efforts. The majority of Starry Sky Wanderer Kuan couldn't reach 8th rank. But a unique life form, unparalleled and singular, they were the favored children of the universe, naturally achieving peak levels of life without investing much effort. Of course, It is precisely this smooth sailing that makes the chances of unique life forms reaching ultimacy very slim. To become a supreme being, reliance on innate talent is insufficient. In the current universe, the majority of the ultimate beings were those who grew from weak life forms. Continue. After some thought, Lin Yuan sent a portion of his mind into another orb. Thunder rolled. This time, Lin Yuan transformed into a member of the silver-armored gold-horned alien race, engaged in battle with a mighty life form. Thunder rolled. Space continuously collapsed. The various rule insights revealed by the silver-armored gold-horned alien race during the battle all surged into Lin Yuan's mind. Material rules. This silver-armored gold-horned alien has high mastery of the Great Destruction rule, Lin Yuan thought to himself, and his physical body, while not on par with the turbid Fire King, is also extremely extraordinary in some aspects. Lin Yuan deeply explored the insights. The 4 luminous orbs given by the half-meter-high elder hadn't been specifically refined and purified. They could not bring the direct understanding as probing the orb with the spatiotemporal fusion rule had done. But for Lin Yuan, there was no difference. With his against heaven's understanding, countless flashes of spiritual light emerged in his mind. The 10th stage Martial Tao chapter. I now have a direction. Search the novel Fire. Net website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 770 Inventory Gains. Subscribe requested. _3 Observing every aspect of the myriad tribes' powerhouses. Lin Yuan had developed a concrete approach to the opening of the 10th stage Martial Tao chapter. Physical body. Soul. Lin Yuan's eyes shone brightly. The physical body and soul were the foundations of the martial path evolutionary path. Starting from the 4th rank 5th stage section, Lin Yuan's open martial path evolutionary path had focused on the understanding of rules and the development of the inner world. But by the 10th rank chapter, Lin Yuan's attention returned to the physical body and soul. With many special life forms among the myriad tribes' powerhouses as references, Lin Yuan gained a whole new level of understanding concerning the minute structure of the physical body and the essence of the soul. In terms of foundational aspects, human civilization indeed fell far short in comparison to those special life forms with profound heritages. Starting behind didn't mean always being behind. Lin Yuan's newly developed 10th stage Martial Tao chapter was rapidly absorbing the strengths of these special life forms. Theoretically, if the 10th rank chapter opened up by Lin Yuan was cultivated by future martial arts evolutionaries, they would be no weaker than those special life forms in all aspects. Lin Yuan's observation of the myriad tribes' powerhouses in terms of their physical bodies, souls, and understanding of rules, even memories, was not only a great help in perfecting the 10th stage Martial Tao chapter, it was also incredibly beneficial for himself. Lin Yuan's physical body slowly evolved towards the utmost level of perfection, and the understanding of many rules, especially the pillar-level fusion rules, was rapidly improving. Time passed. In the blink of an eye, 2 months had passed. Lin Yuan's expression shifted as he looked towards a floating silver mirror nearby. Finally, the initial refining is successful. Lin Yuan nodded slightly. This supreme weapon, the silver mirror, had no owner from the start. Moreover, Lin Yuan infused it with his mental power continuously in the two-dimensional world. From the time he began until now with the initial refining success, he had encountered virtually no setbacks or obstructions. After the initial refining of the silver mirror, Lin Yuan's consciousness entered the world contained within it. Boom, boom, boom. Within the two-dimensional world, the interior world of the silver mirror was nothing more than a cramped space of 10 square meters. But at this moment, as Lin Yuan's consciousness merged with it, he was immediately stunned. A world vast and boundless presented itself before Lin Yuan. The size of this space is at least 10,000 light-years in diameter. Isn't it? Lin Yuan muttered to himself, but by size, the inner universe of a supreme being seemed to be about the same size. Such a massive world, once fully activated, would be no less than a supreme being making a full-powered effort. Lin Yuan thought silently to himself. However, to fully activate the silver mirror, one would have to be a supreme being. Even if Lin Yuan stepped into Tier 11, he would at best barely activate it, let alone fully activate it. Probably far from it. Let's check the other exotic treasures. Lin Yuan followed his senses to a vast stone platform. A variety of exotic treasures were placed there. Upon a closer count, the total number of exotic treasures exceeded 100. As he left the two-dimensional world, the silver mirror began to revive, and these exotic treasures gradually recovered as well. If this were not in the world inside the silver mirror but in the main universe, the fluctuations emitted by these more than 100 exotic treasures would likely affect tens to hundreds of thousands of light-years. 11 of these exotic treasures belong to human civilization. Lin Yuan identified, selecting them from over 100 items. During 10,000 years in the two-dimensional world, Shenyuan Dua and many other human civilization evolutionaries had been continuously searching for many rare treasures, handing over a total of 22 to Lin Yuan. According to the agreement between Lin Yuan and the Xiaqin Supreme Being, Lin Yuan could keep half of these 22 treasures after taking them out. So many exotic treasures. Lin Yuan looked at the nearly 100 remaining treasures with exhilaration. Even ultimate beings would probably be green with envy at the sight of so many exotic treasures. Stay calm, stay calm. Lin Yuan composed himself. These treasures were precious, but their practical use to him at the moment was limited. After all, the life level of Lin Yuan was still too low to fully utilize these treasures. Take it slow. Lin Yuan carefully transferred the 11 exotic treasures of human civilization into his inner world. No problem. Lin Yuan nodded slightly. The 11 exotic treasures, 11 12-star strange treasures, their power completely contained, were floating quietly in his inner world. I'll take these treasures to Xiaqin's Supreme Being. Lin Yuan placed these 11 treasures separately within his inner world, while the silver mirror and many other treasures were stored in the Shenhuang's secret realm. After doing all this, the Taiyang divine spirit left the Shenhuang secret realm. Milky Way main star. Lin Yuan was seated cross-legged when a figure silently appeared before him. It was none other than the Taiyang divine spirit. You're back. A smile appeared on Lin Yuan's face. The feather butterfly supreme being has been waiting for me for some time now. Lin Yuan's heart stirred as the Taiyang divine spirit left the Milky Way main star, heading towards a patch of starry sky. Days before, an incarnation of the feather butterfly supreme being had appeared outside the Milky Way main star, ensuring that nothing untoward befell Lin Yuan. After all, Lin Yuan was the only survivor from the white paper of all the myriad tribes' powerhouses. Although other different species weren't aware of this, human civilization had to be cautious. Thank you, feather butterfly supreme being. Lin Yuan's Taiyang divine spirit flew out and bowed slightly to the ethereal figure in the starry sky. No trouble at all, said the feather butterfly supreme being with a smile, her voice soft. Shall I take you to our human civilization's third stronghold? The other supreme beings want to meet you. The supreme beings? Lin Yuan looked slightly puzzled. Yes, Xiaqin and the other 7 all want to meet you. The feather butterfly supreme being looked at Lin Yuan. 8 supreme beings? Lin Yuan held his breath. If you add the feather butterfly supreme being in front of him, that would be 9 supreme beings. 9 supreme beings of human civilization showing up just to meet him? Sir, the novel_fire. At website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. Such an event was rare. Unless faced with a crisis of survival, human civilization's 9 supreme beings seldom gathered together as most of them had their endeavors to pursue. Search the novel fire. Net website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 771, The Confusion of the 9 Supreme Beings. Please subscribe. There's no need to worry or fear. They just want to see you. said the Feather Butterfly Supreme Being softly. In the two-dimensional world, Lin Yuan swept through the different species in all directions, overwhelming and crushing special beings such as the 4 Divine Kings and other level 11 perfect legendary lives, shocking even the Supreme Beings. Thus, aside from Xiaqin Supreme Being, the other Supreme Beings were also alerted and developed a strong curiosity about Lin Yuan. All right, Lin Yuan nodded. This was a good opportunity to deliver the 11 strange items. These 11 strange items were treasures that people like Shen Yuan Dua and other human civilization evolvers had obtained through more than 10,000 years of immense hardship and even deadly battles with powerhouses of myriad tribes. Lin Yuan taking 50% was already more than enough, and he naturally would not embezzle. For Lin Yuan, acquiring these strange items was incredibly effortless, a testament to his absolute strength. For human civilization and other 11th rank evolvers, acquiring these strange items, especially in the later stages, was only possible through competition with powerhouses of myriad tribes, a difficulty that is imaginable. Stand behind me. After looking at Lin Yuan, the Feather Butterfly Supreme Being initiated changes in the surrounding spacetime. I can feel the distance between me and my true self stretching to countless light years in an instant. Lin Yuan's heart was turbulent, recognizing that the Feather Butterfly Supreme Being in front of him was not the true body, but rather an insignificant incarnation. Very soon, Lin Yuan followed the Feather Butterfly Supreme Being to a grand palace. This is the number 3 stronghold of our human civilization. Feather Butterfly Supreme Being stopped and explained with a smile. The number 3 stronghold was where the 9 Supreme Beings usually met. After the creation of the virtual world by human civilization, the number 3 stronghold was seldom used, as the Supreme Beings mostly gathered in the virtual world, which was more convenient and simple. Lin Yuan nodded solemnly. This palace exerted a great pressure on him. It was at least a supreme weapon, and a very powerful one at that. Among the more than 100 strange items obtained in the two-dimensional world, none could surpass this palace in terms of oppressive force. Following behind the Feather Butterfly Supreme Being, Lin Yuan entered the palace. Deep inside the palace, 9 enormous thrones were occupied by 9 majestic figures. Upon arrival, the form of Feather Butterfly Supreme Being quickly dissipated. Greetings to the 9 Supreme Beings. Lin Yuan immediately bowed to show his respect. Lin Yuan held great respect for the Supreme Beings in his heart because, for the Supreme Beings, protecting human civilization was completely altruistic. In the battlefields of different races, human civilization's 6th rank, 9th rank, 10th rank, and 11th rank evolvers fight fiercely with the different species, which although is deemed as duty, also allows them to gain substantial benefits and rewards. The merit points system devised by human civilization rewards those who contribute with many benefits and privileges. This has led to the dazzling state of human civilization today. A balance between input and output. But what about the Supreme Beings? They protect human civilization, devoting a great deal of time and energy. What do they gain from it? Essentially nothing. Such formidable physical strength. One of the Supreme Beings, the ancient power Supreme Being, stared at Lin Yuan and murmured. As the ultimate existence in the path of strength evolution, the ancient power Supreme Being's greatest asset was physical strength, adhering to the belief that strength breaks all laws. Upon hearing this, Lin Yuan listened obediently. His physical body naturally far surpassed that of other 10th rank evolvers. The path of martial Tao was skilled in physical body strength, and with the enhancement from the mysterious gourd, his physical strength was 23 times that of the baseline. Additionally, cultivating the body of Shen Huang significantly increased physical strength, as well as enduring the infusion from the Chaos Void origin upon breaking through to the 10th rank. Under the influence of many factors, Lin Yuan's physical body had reached an inconceivably powerful level, relying solely on physical strength. He could probably challenge an ordinary 11th rank evolver. This was only the physical body of Lin Yuan's Taiyang divine spirit. His true body was even stronger. Physical strength is insignificant compared to the comprehension of rules. Another Supreme Being on a distant throne, the Void God Supreme Being, slowly said, The ancient power Supreme Being glanced at the Void God Supreme Being. The Void God Supreme Being, who mastered the Space Great Tao, was definitely one of the trickiest among the 9 supreme beings of human civilization because it was impossible to locate his true body. Without a physical body, how can there be any comprehension of rules? Another supreme being spoke up, showing a kind smile to Lin Yuan. Lin Yuan, Xiaqin supreme being said from his throne, "We are very pleased with your performance in the two-dimensional world. CTH Novel Fire. Net website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality." "Thank you, Supreme Being," Lin Yuan immediately replied. To satisfy 1 or 2 supreme beings was already very difficult, but to satisfy all 9. At least since the beginning of the Starry Sea era, it had never happened. Supreme beings, here are the 11 strange items. Lin Yuan's thoughts stirred slightly, and 11 strange objects appeared in front of him. Among these 11 objects, 8 were 12-star strange material ingredients and 3 were supreme weapons, 2 of which were attack type and 1 was defense type. They're all fairly decent. The 9 supreme beings seated on the throne glanced at them and nodded slightly. To them, these strange objects were not very effective, but they could at least enhance the foundation of human civilization. Moreover, since Shenyuan Dua and other Tier 11 evolvers had perished within the two-dimensional world, these were items they sought for him. Though their usefulness was not as great as Lin Yuan's, they still served to somewhat compensate for what was lacking. Lin Yuan, if you have any strange objects that you don't need, you can exchange them for merit points at any time and then trade them in the treasury of human civilization for 12-star strange treasures that can be of help to you, Xiaqin Supreme Being reminded him. This time in the two-dimensional world, only Lin Yuan had successfully made it out alive. Considering the size of the hall, it was definitely the largest for Lin Yuan. With Lin Yuan's strength that swept through the two-dimensional world, he definitely obtained a batch of strange objects, in addition to the 11 distributed to him. Xiaqin Supreme Being estimated that Lin Yuan had probably more than 30 strange objects in his possession. Xiaqin Supreme Being wasn't interested in the strange objects Lin Yuan held, as they were obtained through his own strength and skill, but not all the strange objects were useful to him. The human civilization's treasury also recorded a batch of 12-star strange treasure weapons, with a rich variety, which could only be exchanged with merit points. Lin Yuan could completely choose those suitable for himself. All right, Lin Yuan nodded. Among the nearly 100 strange objects obtained from the two-dimensional world, most were not useful to him. Instead of keeping them, it was better to exchange them for treasures and rarities that could benefit him. After all, human civilization would not let him suffer a loss. "I will take these 11 strange objects, then." Xiaqin Supreme Being waved his hand, and the 11 strange objects before Lin Yuan disappeared. "I have asked you to come here because we plan to join hands and take you to the banks of the River of Time once more, to improve your understanding of the rule of time and deepen your understanding of the fusion of time and space, striving for you to comprehend the spatio-temporal fusion rule sooner." Xiaqin Supreme Being continued to speak. Lin Yuan had long penetrated the rule of time, but like the space rules, what is called a thorough understanding of the rule of time was only understanding one aspect of the rule of time. To finally comprehend the spatio-temporal fusion rule, he still needed to continuously contemplate the rule of time. With Xiaqin Supreme Being's power alone, Lin Yuan could be liberated from the river of time for dozens of breaths. If the power of the 9 supreme beings were pooled, the time away from the river of time would naturally be even longer. Such assistance would be significantly more substantial towards Lin Yuan's meditation on the rule of time. Of course, when the 9 supreme beings join forces to forcibly liberate a life from the river of time, there will definitely be a backlash from the river of time and the entire universe. But considering the significant contributions Lin Yuan made in the two-dimensional world, even though they had already distributed the 11 strange objects, Xiaqin Supreme Being and other supreme beings felt they should compensate Lin Yuan further. As for the backlash, as long as the timing was well managed and considering Lin Yuan was just a 10th rank life, they could bear the cost. Head to the banks of the river of time? Lin Yuan's expression showed slight hesitation. Being at the banks of the river of time, overseeing the entire river of time, is an unprecedented great fortune for most lives. But for Lin Yuan, he had already reached a pinnacle in his comprehension of the rule of time. Even if he were on the banks of the river of time again, it wouldn't be very beneficial. After all, as a 10th rank life, How far could he see in a brief visit to the banks? From an efficiency perspective, it was far less beneficial compared to absorbing the orb containing the comprehension of the spatiotemporal fusion rule by the powerhouses of myriad tribes. The most critical issue was Xia Qin Supreme being likely underestimated the difficulty of taking Lin Yuan out of the river of time again. Similar to resurrecting past deceased lives, the stronger the life resurrected, the greater the backlash cost borne by the supreme beings. Resurrecting a 6th rank life compared to an 11th rank life, the costs are naturally different. And fishing different levels of life out of the river of time to bring them to the banks also varies. Within the river of time, countless lives, based on the height of their own nature, show different body weights. Undoubtedly, the higher the essence of life, the heavier the body weight. 10th rank lives in the river of time are considered small fishes, while 11th rank lives qualify as big fish. As for Lin Yuan, even before falling into the two-dimensional world, he had already matched the strength of an 11th rank life, qualifying as a big fish. Now, having experienced the trip to the two-dimensional world and comprehended the spatiotemporal fusion rule, with his inner world transformed, even in the river of time, he would be considered a massive entity. Occupying a 10th to a 5th of the riverbed, he belonged to the strongest level just under those 11th rank complete legendary lives. Xia Qin Supreme being thought Lin Yuan was only a 10th rank life, at most close to an 11th rank life, so he assuredly believed he could easily take Lin Yuan to the banks of the river of time again. However, the actual truth was probably different from what Xia Qin Supreme being imagined. What is it? Xia Qin Supreme being noticed Lin Yuan's hesitation, his eyebrows slightly raised. Supreme being, could I perhaps change my reward? Lin Yuan pondered for a while before speaking. Change the reward? Xia Qin Supreme being looked at Lin Yuan, his expression slightly puzzled. What reward could be more important than observing the river of time? What reward could be more crucial than taking a further step towards comprehending the spatiotemporal fusion rule? Actually, I have already comprehended the spatiotemporal fusion rule. Lin Yuan thought for a moment and decided to be honest, otherwise, he didn't know how to refuse Xia Qin Supreme being's enthusiastic offer. You have comprehended the spatiotemporal fusion rule? Xia Qin Supreme being fell silent, glancing at the other 8 supreme beings around him, his eyes showing a hint of confusion. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know, report, so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 772 10th Stage Martial Tao Chapter. Please subscribe, CTH Novelier. NET website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. On the 9 grand thrones, the 9 supreme beings looked at Lin Yuan, their expressions unusually displaying astonishment. He figured out the spatiotemporal fusion rule? Lin Yuan figured out the spatiotemporal fusion rule? With the talent Lin Yuan had shown, he had thoroughly understood the rule of time by the 9th rank. The Xia Qin Supreme Being and other Supreme Beings did not doubt that Lin Yuan could figure out the spatiotemporal fusion rule. For most 11th rank evolvers, it would take billions of years to attempt what Lin Yuan, as one of humanity's strongest prodigies, would not consider a significant bottleneck or restraint. The Supreme Beings had hoped Lin Yuan would reach the ultimate, standing alongside them as a colossal pillar of human civilization. But the 9 Supreme Beings had never expected Lin Yuan to figure out the spatiotemporal fusion rule so quickly. Too quickly. So quickly that the Supreme Beings had not anticipated it at all. When Lin Yuan had thoroughly understood the rule of time, Xia Qin Supreme Being had even given him a push, taking him to the shore of the river of time to observe its entirety. Now, he had figured out the spatiotemporal fusion rule all on his own? And how long had Lin Yuan been at the 10th stage? Although he had spent over 10,000 years in the two-dimensional world, it was a lower-dimensional world devoid of any rule fluctuations, completely unsuitable for perceiving the rules of time and space. You really figured out the spatio-temporal fusion rule? The Void God Supreme Being was somewhat surprised and couldn't help but ask. Time and space themselves are the highest pillars of rules, and Void God Supreme Being specializes in space, also boasting considerable expertise in time. By luck, With a slight movement of his thoughts, Lin Yuan invoked the fusion of the power of spacetime. Compared to the explosive growth of physical soul, discerning the subtleties of rule perception, unless actively demonstrated, is hard for outsiders to precisely identify. It truly is the spatio-temporal fusion rule. With just one look, the 9 supreme beings confirmed that Lin Yuan had fully mastered the spatio-temporal fusion rule. Xiaqin Supreme Being felt quite helpless, as he had intended to offer Lin Yuan some insights into figuring out the spatio-temporal fusion rule, but now it seemed entirely unnecessary. Since you've already figured out the spatio-temporal fusion rule, there really is no need to go and view the entirety of the River of Time. Feather Butterfly Supreme Being slowly said. With a wave of his right hand, a hazy universe appeared before him, which then began to infinitely contract, transforming into a bead and flying towards Lin Yuan. Whoosh! As the bead slowly floated, Lin Yuan's expression shifted slightly. He felt as if he were in front of a vast universe. Is this a micro-star universe? No, it's more real than a miniature universe. Among the many treasures and rare items Lin Yuan had seen, only the miniature universe closely resembled this bead. But it was only similar. Although the miniature universe had a complete set of spacetime rules operating, it was ultimately inanimate, but this bead seemed to be alive. This rare treasure, called Source of the Universe, can aid your inner world in its metamorphosis into an inner universe. Xiaqin Supreme Being explained the use of the bead. Aid in metamorphosing the inner world into an inner universe? Lin Yuan took a deep breath. Search the novel Fire. Net website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 773 10th Stage Martial Tao Chapter. Subscribe request. _2 Upon reaching the ultimate, the inner world would transform towards an inner universe. But the leap from a world to a universe? Such a span is akin to going from 1 to 10,000, 100,000, a million. This bead could assist the inner world in transforming into an inner universe, thus acting as a treasure beneficial for reaching the ultimate, enough to drive the ancient gods at the peak of 11th rank in the deep cosmic starry skies insane. This is too valuable. Lin Yuan, despite possessing numerous 12-star strange treasure weapons, recognized that these were merely external objects. Only by stepping into the 12th rank level oneself was the essence. It's not a matter of being valuable or not. Xiaqin Supreme Being shook his head and said, "Take it." Yes. Lin Yuan immediately stowed away the source of the universe. All right, let Yudi send you back. Xiaqin Supreme Being looked at Lin Yuan. This number 3 stronghold of human civilization was surrounded by a spatial temporal maze. Lin Yuan himself couldn't leave on his own. As Lin Yuan left, the 9 supreme beings on the field looked at each other once more. Xiaqin, how exactly did you find this kid? His talent is too terrifying, figuring out the fusion rules of time and space at just the 10th stage? To be honest, I feel like with another retreat, that kid will reach the ultimate. The supreme beings conversed in low voices, their tones filled with awe. Outside the Milky Way main star, Lin Yuan's Taiyang divine spirit appeared silently. Back already? Lin Yuan glanced around, his expression thoughtful. I can sense it. The coordinates of the 3rd stronghold, located deep within layers of space, similar to the Shenhuang's secret realm, but not as completely hidden as the Shenhuang's secret realm. Forget it. I don't want to think about these anymore. Lin Yuan's figure disappeared, reappearing inside the Star-Lord's Great Hall. Whoosh! The source of the universe flew out, hovering in front of his true self. Since the source of the universe could aid the inner world in transforming towards an inner universe, it was naturally prioritized for use by the true self. As for the 2 great divine spirits of Taiyin and Taiyang, as long as Lin Yuan could step into the ultimate, the 2 divine spirits would naturally be able to transform successively, and the inner world would likewise evolve into an inner universe. The source of the universe? Lin Yuan carefully observed the bead in front of him. In the presence of the Supreme Being, Lin Yuan did not examine it closely. But now there was no need for that. Net website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. The Supreme Beings must have seen that my cultivation time was too short, lacking in temporal essence, thus they gave me this source of the universe. Lin Yuan was profoundly grateful in his heart, as the source of the universe was immensely helpful to him. With the depth of space I now possess, and the length of time, when I challenge Tier 11 and endure the Chaos Void Origin Infusion again, perhaps I could bring my inner world close to the level of an inner universe? Lin Yuan secretly thought. Xia Qin Supreme being granted the source of the universe, making up for Lin Yuan's lack of temporal essence, but the Supreme Being certainly did not expect that Lin Yuan's inner world in spatial essence was already terrifyingly high. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know, report, so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 774 10th Stage Martial Tao Chapter, subscribe request, _3 and now, the inner world inside him was still not Lin Yuan's limit. The fusion of time and space rules were merely at the first realm. Once it reached the fifth realm, the inner world would become even more perfect and complete. Xianhuang's secret realm. The Taiyang divine spirit sat cross-legged. In front of him lay item after item of exotic treasures, those being the 12-star strange treasures weapons. These exotic treasure weapons that are of no use to me could be broken down back into primal force to nourish the origin clock or simply serve as nourishment for my cultivation of the Xianhuang physique. Lin Yuan thought to himself. Supreme weapons were indeed powerful, but not every one of them was suitable for Lin Yuan. If one were to discuss compatibility, no weapon could compare to the origin clock. This weapon, made of origin fine gold, had always been nurtured by Lin Yuan and naturally was a perfect fit for him. The only drawback was that, compared with the supreme weapons, the origin clock was slightly lesser in rank, but the impact was not significant. Lin Yuan had mastered primal force and could revert all things back into the most fundamental pure power. Eventually, he would continue to slowly nurture the origin clock, aiming to cultivate it into a supreme weapon. Of course, such a task could only be hoped for when Lin Yuan reached Tier 11. How extraordinary were the 12-star strange treasures. They couldn't just be reverted on a whim. Milky Way main star. After continuing to observe the changes in his inner world, Lin Yuan once again took out the Enlightenment light sphere of rules and immersed himself in cultivation. Besides normally understanding rules, Lin Yuan was also slowly perfecting the 10th stage martial Tao chapter. The core of the 10th stage martial Tao chapter lies in the physical body, in the soul, in the spirit will, returning to essence and roots. Only with a strong foundation does greater potential emerge. Lin Yuan continually observed one by one the physical souls of those special beings deep in the cosmic starry skies. Normally speaking, special beings were rare, and some unique special beings existed only once in the vast universe. Their mystical physical bodies, the essence of their souls, their innate abilities, even a supreme being could not peer into these aspects. Yet, thanks to 4 spheres of light given to him by the half-meter-tall old man, Lin Yuan could distinctly feel everything about many special beings, immensely propelling the perfection of the 10th stage martial Tao chapter. It is known that each unique special being is a darling of the universe, graced with everything close to the great Tao. Lin Yuan's use of these special beings' physical souls to perfect the 10th stage martial Tao chapter was truly a path with an extremely high limit lifting him to the heavens. Search * the novel fire, any *t website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. It was not a path that led to a dead end or dead alley. It was like standing at the height of the universe and creating and developing an evolution path. Virtual world. Lin Yuan and Nailin comfortably sat together. Beyond his practices, Lin Yuan would also enter the virtual world to relax, albeit just with a sliver of consciousness, not hindering his normal practice of enlightenment. This time the two-dimensional world has fallen, and those different species strong ones suffered. especially the 4 divine kings, even losing the most suitable supreme weapons for themselves in there. Nalen had a somewhat schadenfreude attitude, although his avatar also experienced a fundamental loss by dying in the two-dimensional world. He was compensated to some degree by human civilization afterward. Lin Yuan returned 11 exotic items to the supreme beings, parts of which compensated various human evolvers. After all, many human evolvers also contributed in the search for these exotic items, and naturally, human civilization would not let them be at a loss. Indeed, quite tragic. Lin Yuan nodded. Originally, the 4 divine kings were among the first tier of strong ones below the supreme beings. But now they had lost a weapon perfectly suited to them. Whether it was the Star Alliance or the human civilization or the Insect Race Alliance, all had collected a number of supreme weapons. But for life forms below the level of supreme beings, finding a suitable supreme weapon was nothing short of climbing to the heavens. Having lost that supreme weapon, even if the 4 divine kings received another supreme weapon bestowed by the Star Alliance, they could not return to the peak of their combat power. Moreover, the death of an avatar in the two-dimensional world meant a permanent loss of some of the spirit will. This also had a significant impact on their strength. The 2 factors combined. Although the 4 divine kings weren't reduced to mediocrity, they could no longer compare to beings like the Mother of the Tree Realm. Even their time for challenging the ultimate would be indefinitely postponed, but no matter how much it was delayed, the possibility of finally becoming ultimate had decreased. Apart from the 4 divine kings, many other special beings and different species strong ones also suffered great losses, at least losing part of their spirit will fundamentally. Spirit will, unlike physical body, cannot be improved with the help of rare treasures. To increase the strength of spirit will, one does not know how much effort is needed. Having lost a part permanently, the stronger the being, the heavier the loss. Hee. How about those different species strong ones? Unique special beings, how are they still beaten up by our human Lord Shueyu? In the competition in the two-dimensional world, only Lord Shueyu emerged as the ultimate victor. A smile appeared on Nalan's face. Although, at present, human civilization hasn't publicly announced that Lord Shueyu had successfully exited from the two-dimensional world, even the human civilization's evolvers have guessed that Lord Shueyu must have survived. The different species strong ones also have such speculations, but can only speculate. As a peak clan with 9 supreme beings standing guard, other different species, despite their great losses, dare not do anything against human civilization. Time slowly passed. In a blink, 2.5 years had gone by. Milky Way main star. Lin Yuan quietly sat there. What is a physical body? What is a soul? Thoughts surged in Lin Yuan's mind. The mystique of the myriad tribes' powerhouses' bodies, their innate abilities, etc., all converged in Lin Yuan's heart, forming the foundation of the 10th stage martial Tao chapter. One does not know how much time had passed. Lin Yuan slowly opened his eyes, a smile appearing on his face. 10th stage martial Tao chapter completed. Search the novel Fire. Net website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 775 Human Civilization Part 10. Subscribe please. Lin Yuan stepped into the 10th rank not long ago and soon grasped the first pillar-level fusion rule, becoming a grade A tier 10. That is, the 10th rank summit. But it was not until now that he finally carved out a complete 10th stage martial Tao chapter. During this process, he also experienced tens of thousands of years in the two-dimensional world. This shows the difficulty of formulating the 10th stage martial Tao chapter. In fact, with Lin Yuan's Against Heaven's understanding, he had already created hundreds, even thousands of beginnings for the 10th rank chapter. But they were all unsatisfying, as he felt the direction was not quite right. It was only after obtaining everything about the myriad tribes' powerhouses from the half-meter-tall elder inside white paper that he finally locked down the essence of the 10th rank chapter, taking only 2.5 years to carve it out. The 10th stage martial Tao chapter, in addition to the corresponding understanding of rules, many pillar-level fusion rules, Its most core aspect lies in reshaping the physical soul, making it more perfect, closer to those special beings nurtured by the cosmos, thought Lin Yuan to himself. To achieve this, two things were necessary. Against heaven's understanding and various structural diagrams of the physical souls of special beings, including different species. The two were indispensable. My physical soul now. As Lin Yuan carefully sensed it over, during the creation of the 10th stage martial Tao chapter, his physical soul had also been evolving towards perfection. Only when the 10th rank chapter was perfectly carved out did Lin Yuan's physical soul transform to the ultimate extreme. At this moment, Lin Yuan's physical soul was mysterious, not inferior to those special beings with powerful talents. He might still not match up to the unique special beings, but the gap was not significant. The reason why special beings have such a low probability of reaching the ultimate is that they are innate powerful, lacking a weak period, and lacking that kind of relentless will. However, their physical souls definitely have something worth learning. Lin Yuan silently pondered. Now the martial Tao 10th rank chapter draws from the strengths of those special beings. As for their weaknesses, which evolver from human civilization didn't grow from utter weakness to strength. There is no such thing as being innately powerful. Almost there. Lin Yuan repeatedly deliberated and thought over the martial Tao 10th rank chapter and finally nodded in satisfaction. The 10th rank chapter now truly matched the version he had envisioned. Other evolution path 10th rank chapters emphasized understanding and enlightenment of rules. However, the martial path evolutionary path's 10th rank chapter returns to the physical soul, showing the path of evolution from the root. Goddess of Wisdom. Lin Yuan immediately connected to the Goddess of Wisdom. Respected scholar Lin Yuan, 8th level citizen. Goddess of Wisdom is pleased to serve you. Intoned the Goddess of Wisdom in a grave and cool voice. I wish to upload the martial Tao 10th rank chapter. Lin Yuan immediately uploaded the martial Tao 10th rank chapter to the terminal of the Goddess of Wisdom. Virtual world. The Xia Qin Supreme Being and several other Supreme Beings gathered once again. The martial Tao 10th rank chapter? That youngster created the martial Tao 10th rank chapter? The Xia Qin Supreme Beings were briefly stunned, then promptly accepted it. Lin Yuan even comprehended the spatio-temporal fusion rule. Creating the martial Tao 10th rank chapter wasn't so inconceivable. Let me have a look. The Void God Ultimate Being immediately started to peruse it. Nowadays, within human civilization, Lin Yuan's importance is second only to the 9 Supreme Beings. His 10th rank chapter was directly judged by the Supreme Beings. This 10th rank chapter? The ancient power Supreme Being was slightly taken aback. As the ultimate existence skilled in the rule of power and specializing in the physical body, the ancient power Supreme Being instantly recognized that the martial Tao 10th rank chapter involved reshaping the physical body. Impressive, indeed. How many special beings did this youngster dissect to have such a profound understanding of the physical body? The ancient power Supreme Being wondered more and more inconceivably as he read. High understanding of rules by Lin Yuan? He could somewhat force an explanation. After all, many rules pervade the cosmic starry sky, and to those peerless geniuses, they are palpable. But the mysteries of the physical body, especially the mysteries of the physical body in the martial Tao 10th rank chapter, are all directed towards the Tao of the physical body, the location of the great Tao of the cosmos. Such profound understanding of the physical body should be beyond a youngster like Lin Yuan, right? And the soul? The feather butterfly Supreme Being said with a slightly grave expression. She also noticed the core thread of the 10th rank chapter, which fundamentally lies in the physical soul. Martial arts evolutionaries who practice up to the martial Tao 10th rank, reaching perfection in the 10th rank layer, will have a much higher possibility of stepping into tier 11 in the future. Even touching the ultimate offers a minuscule benefit, nodded the Xia Qin Supreme Being. Do not underestimate the significance of a transcendent physical soul, especially when striving for the ultimate. A perfected physical soul might not provide great help, but it will at least not be a hindrance. Indeed, it is very good. The Void God Supreme Being nodded slightly. Even he saw the rare and valuable aspect of the martial Tao 10th rank chapter. returning to the physical soul, emphasizing the shaping of the foundation. This 10th rank chapter is worth at least 3 billion merit points. 3 billion merit points? That is somewhat low. I think it is worth at least 4 or 5 billion merit points. Let's say 5 billion? I feel like the exposition on the physical body in the 10th rank chapter could be applied to other evolution paths. The various supreme beings conversed with each other and finally rendered a 5 billion merit points valuation. Milky Way main star. As Lin Yuan waited, he once again immersed himself in the practice and enlightenment of the Tao. Just then, respected scholar Lin Yuan, 8th level citizen, your martial Tao 10th rank chapter has been judged. Began the solemn and cool voice of the goddess of wisdom. Judged already? Lin Yuan opened his eyes, slightly expectant. The final evaluation result values the 10th stage martial Tao chapter at 50 billion merit points. The voice of the goddess of wisdom rang out. 50 billion merit points? A smile appeared on Lin Yuan's face. He remembered the 9th stage martial Tao chapter was valued at only 2 billion merit points. Those 2 billion merit points even included the results of the bloodline cultivation system. But now, the 10th stage chapter is worth 50 billion straight away. Even though Lin Yuan used nearly 100 exotic treasures, 50 billion merit points was still a huge fortune for him. In the human civilization treasury, the exchange price for 12-star strange treasures starts at 1 billion merit points. 50 billion merit points could exchange for 50 of the lowest value 12-star strange treasures. Right? What's the current ranking of the martial path evolutionary path now? Lin Yuan immediately began to check. After uploading the 9th stage martial Tao chapter, the martial path evolutionary paths ranking was 42nd in the Southern Star region. Being 42nd in the Southern Star region, one of the 5 major star regions of human civilization, would roughly put it in the 300 to 400 rank range of the entire human civilization's evolutionary paths. The rankings of the Southern Star region's evolutionary path. First? Lin Yuan was somewhat surprised as he saw the final ranking. Even though he had anticipated a spike in ranking after uploading the 10th rank chapter, thanks to those 50 billion merit points being there, the higher the evaluation in merit points, it meant that the 3 goddesses and even the supreme beings saw great potential, signifying even greater potential. But Lin Yuan hadn't expected to soar straight to first place in the Southern Star region rankings. This was one of the 5 major star regions, not some star domain or star alliance. The evolutionary paths in the Southern Star region's rankings were primarily 11th rank evolutionary paths, and having the 9th rank martial Tao evolutionary path at 42nd was already incredibly unbelievable. The ranking of human civilization's evolutionary paths. Lin Yuan shifted his gaze to the ranking of the martial path evolutionary path amongst the evolutionary paths of human civilization. The rankings of human civilization's evolutionary paths consist of all evolutionary paths recorded by human civilization, including the rankings of all evolutionary paths as well as the 9 great supreme evolutionary paths. The ranking of human civilization's evolutionary paths is the most prestigious. 10th place. Lin Yuan glanced up at the evolutionary paths now ranked ahead of the martial path evolutionary path. There were only 9, and these 9 evolutionary paths were all supreme evolutionary paths. Has the martial path evolutionary path become the strongest evolutionary path beneath the supreme evolutionary paths? Lin Yuan silently thought to himself. Of course, to say it's the strongest isn't quite accurate. The ranking of human civilization's evolutionary paths is determined by many aspects, including potential, which holds significant weight. But regardless, the martial path evolutionary path has now become the most pinnacle of all the vast and numerous evolutionary paths recorded in human civilization. The rise in the ranking of the martial path evolutionary path swiftly caused a huge stir within the entirety of human civilization. After all, the martial path evolutionary path's latest ranking was 10th in human civilization, overwhelming a host of 11th rank peak evolutionary paths and taking the top spot on the Southern Star region leaderboard, shocking countless evolutionary and high-level citizens. Ranked 10th in human civilization's evolutionary paths, this martial path evolutionary path is too formidable. Just by uploading the 10th rank chapter, it surged from around 3 to 400th place to 10th? Ha ha ha! I told you guys the future of the martial path evolutionary path was immeasurable, But you wouldn't believe me. Countless evolvers began to discuss fervently, as there hadn't been an evolutionary path that reached the top of a major star region while only at the 10th rank since the beginning of the Starry Sea era. Indeed, the human civilization's evolutionary path rankings emphasize potential as one of the main criteria, but to become a Tier 11 evolutionary path doesn't low potential? Thunder Rain Star region. Lulan He, 1.5 meters tall, suddenly leaped up. I said the Marshall Path evolutionary path was quite good. Lulan He was extremely excited. He can be considered a witness to the Marshall Path evolutionary path. When the Marshall Path evolutionary path was only at the 2nd layer, he took notice of it and began to cultivate it. He even defied his father's will for this. Father. Lulan He immediately began to contact his father. Little He, the ethereal figure of Lulan Yu, appeared in front of him. Father, have you seen the latest ranking of the Marshall Path evolutionary path? Lulan He said excitedly. I have seen it, sir. The novel Fire. NT website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. Lulan Yu spoke gravely. The hottest topic inside human civilization at the moment was the Marshall Path evolutionary path. Even the different species were aware of it. Your choice was very good. Lulan Yu looked at his son. Keep cultivating on the Marshall Path evolutionary path. Because... Lulan Yu said this but did not continue. Because of what? Lulan He asked cheerfully. Because... Lulan Yu looked solemn, his tone tinged with emotion. This could very well be our human civilization's 10th supreme evolutionary path. Search the novel Fire. Net website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 777 9th Level Citizen. Subscribe, please. _2-inch spreading one's own evolution path, allowing more beings to cultivate, and ultimately nourishing oneself to propel the ultimate leap. Such means are nothing short of incredible. Lin Yuan thought to himself that this kind of nourishment was not the kind that came from the power of faith but rather from the path of evolution, basically without any hidden dangers. I wonder which powerful being created this cultivation method? An existence close to a perfect time being? Lin Yuan was quite curious. In the long-gone cosmic era, there was no talk of spreading one's own evolution path. If you wanted to make the ultimate leap, you essentially had to rely on yourself. Take Emperor Shenhuang for example. He did not spread his evolution path widely because the threshold for the Shenhuang evolutionary path was too high and not suitable for aimless dissemination. It's about time. It's time to advance to a 9th level citizen. Lin Yuan glanced at the balance of his own merit points, 5 billion and 200 million. Out of these, 50 billion merit points were the reward he received after uploading the 10th stage Martial Tao chapter. The remaining 2 billion plus merit points were what Lin Yuan had accumulated over time, including what was left from the last time he uploaded the 9th stage Martial Tao chapter. From an 8th level citizen to a 9th level citizen, 10 billion merit points are needed, equivalent to the value of 10 entry-level 12-star rare treasures. After pondering for a moment, Lin Yuan chose to upgrade his citizen level. In the past, every time he advanced his citizen level, he gained far more than the value of the merit points spent on the advancement itself. The higher the citizen level, the more important it was not just the privileges but also the ability to influence some of the decisions of human civilization. Take Lin Yuan, for instance. He was currently the chief speaker of the North Cold Star Alliance, the highest-ranking individual in hundreds, if not thousands, of star domains, and a single thought from him was enough to determine human civilization's policy towards the surrounding different species. The ordinary tribes within the North Cold Star Alliance, the weaker tribes, or even the other different species tribes nearby, all had to rely on Lin Yuan's influence. Goddess of Wisdom. I wish to now advance to a 9th level citizen. Lin Yuan immediately connected to the Goddess of Wisdom and made a request to upgrade his citizen level. In an instant, Lin Yuan's 5 billion and more merit points were reduced by 10 billion. Sar the Nelfer. Net website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. Lower-level citizens, even if they accumulate enough merit points, cannot make the exchange. The right to participate in the Central Council of Human Civilization. Lin Yuan glanced at the second benefit. The Central Council of Human Civilization is a key meeting that touches on the future direction of the entirety of human civilization, where supreme beings will descend their consciousness to participate, and the three goddesses will pay close attention. To be able to participate in such meetings, you need at least a 9th-level citizen status. Not interested. Lin Yuan had no interest in the council. Such a privilege might be invaluable to some citizens adept at maneuvering through politics, but to Lin Yuan it seemed meaningless. 3 opportunities to immerse in the eternal spring? Lin Yuan's gaze lingered on a particular benefit. The eternal spring, one of the human civilization's 12-star rare treasures, allows any bather to safely extend their lifespan by several 100,000 years. Moreover, during the immersion in the eternal spring, one's physique will undergo slow transformation, improving the potential upper limits. Search the novel Fire. Net website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 778 9th Level Citizen. Seeking subscriptions. _3 once. A supreme being from a different species was willing to exchange an 11-star top-tier rare treasure for a chance to bathe in the eternal spring, to be used on their clan's younger generation. Human civilization did not agree. An 11-star top-tier rare treasure is worth tens of millions of merit points. It was indeed a very sincere offer. Human civilization refused, not because the 11-star top-tier rare treasure was insufficient, but because there were more considerations. Within human civilization, besides obtaining a chance to bathe upon ascending to 9th rank, if one wanted an additional bath, it would cost 5 million merit points per time. Sarch * the Nelfer. Net website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. Now, ascending to 9th level citizen, the 3 complementary opportunities to bathe in the eternal spring are equivalent to 15 million merit points. There's a chance to let both primordial spirits take a dip. Lin Yuan thought to himself that such opportunities to enhance the potential of the flesh were rare. There's also the privilege of enjoying the exchange discounts from the human civilization treasury. The discount for exchanging civilization coins and cosmic crystals is 60%. The discount for exchanging merit points is 90%. Lin Yuan was overjoyed. So-called civilization coins and cosmic crystal exchanges are the regular and strategic resource exchanges in the human civilization treasury. They can be obtained through civilization coins and cosmic crystals. When Lin Yuan was an 8th level citizen, he also enjoyed corresponding discounts, but at that time it was 80%. Now that he has ascended to a 9th level citizen, he directly benefits from a 60% exchange rate, a reduction of 20%. No one knows how many cosmic crystals it can help Lin Yuan save. As for the discount on exchanging merit points, every merit point exchange in the human civilization treasury is a limited resource, even not open to outsiders. This includes many 12-star rare treasures, many special heritage sites, and places like the Black Planet that are useful for comprehending and amalgamating rules. Even though the discount on merit points exchange is only 10%, what is being saved is merit points, and the rare treasures that are exchanged are extremely rare in the entire cosmic starry sky. With a 10% discount, as long as I exchange for 100 billion merit points worth of rare treasures, I can make up for the merit points spent on my ascension to a 9th level citizen in one stroke. A smile appeared on Lin Yuan's face. This was the effect of elevating the level of citizenship. The short-term gain might not be the greatest, but looking at the long term, the benefits were sure to be extensive and profound. The privileges and advantages of ascending to a 9th level citizen are countless, indeed numbering in the thousands. Lin Yuan briefly went through them, most of which were enhanced versions of those available to 8th-level citizens, and the remaining new privileges were equally helpful to him. At the very least, it could save him from many troublesome periods. Merit points needed to ascend to 10th-level citizen. After looking through many privileges, Lin Yuan looked towards the conditions for ascending to a 10th-level citizen. 50 billion merit points? Lin Yuan's mouth twitched slightly. Such a massive amount of merit points. Even if he converted all the strange objects from the two-dimensional world, it would still be far from enough. Now, aside from the 9 supreme beings in human civilization, there probably aren't many citizens who are 10th level or higher, right? Lin Yuan shook his head slightly. Even for an 11th rank evolver, amassing 50 billion merit points was nearly an impossible feat unless one could slaughter their way through a large alien battlefield. It wasn't even worth considering. And slaughter through a large alien battlefield? Even for the 4 divine kings at their peak, it was hard to achieve as supreme beings could enter the fray at any moment. And even if supreme beings didn't intervene, the 11th rank peak powerhouses from the peak clans were not so easy to deal with. With supreme weapons in hand, if you can't overcome one, you would have to face 5 or 10. In such circumstances, who could withstand that? Nowadays, the 10th level citizens of human civilization are mostly 11th rank evolvers from universities, or those human citizens who have made significant contributions during the long dormant years before the Starry Sea era. Purchase resources, and continue cultivating the Xianhuang physique. Lin Yuan opened the human civilization treasury and began selecting his choices. The Xianhuang physique is one of the 3 great Dao-protecting secret skills of the profound yellow lineage, divided into 4 levels: entry, minor achievement, major achievement, and perfection. Of course, these 4 levels are aimed at each rank. When at 9th rank, cultivating the Xianhuang physique to the level of perfection, and then advancing to 10th rank, when the level of life significantly leaps ahead, the Xianhuang physique will fall to major achievement or even minor achievement. Theoretically, if a 12th rank ultimate being can cultivate the Xianhuang physique to perfection at their rank stage, they can easily survive the great cosmic destruction. To know, if a cosmos enters a period of great destruction, and all things collapse, even a supreme being could survive only half or even less. Only supreme beings who have lived through the cosmic great destruction can be considered truly free. Lin Yuan has already cultivated the Xianhuang physique to major achievement, just 1 step away from perfection. Given Lin Yuan's foundational physical strength, a 10th rank level Xianhuang physique perfected, his physique is already powerful enough to suppress rules, and just with his physical body he could rival the 2nd tier 11th rank. It's about time. After selecting for a while, Lin Yuan spent about 200 billion cubic universe crystals, and after the 60% privilege of a 9th level citizen, he only paid out 120 billion cubic universe crystals. He directly saved 80 billion cubic universe crystals. The cost is really high. Lin Yuan shook his head slightly. It's not actually that the Xianhuang physique is expensive. Indeed, the Xianhuang physique demands high resources, but the cost of cultivating the Xianhuang physique at only the 10th rank level, however high it may be, is finite. Mainly because Lin Yuan's foundational physique is too strong, leading to a very high starting point, with the Xianhuang physique enhancing the physical strength tenfold. If the initial physical strength of a normal 10th rank life is 10, a tenfold increase would be 100. With an initial physical strength of 100, a tenfold increase would be 1,000. The resources spent on both are naturally different, and Lin Yuan's initial physical strength is far more than 100, perhaps 10,000, 100,000, 1 million. Therefore, the resources needed to cultivate the Xianhuang physique to the perfection level are naturally millions or even millions of times the normal amount. Search the novel Fire. Net website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Other evolvers from human civilization, if they want to enter the spatiotemporal fusion rule guiding space, would need to pay far more than 100 million merit points. We can lease out the remaining 11 guiding spaces. Lin Yuan thought to himself that the lease price for one guiding space was 100 million merit points, so 11 guiding spaces would amount to 1.1 billion, equivalent to a 9th-level citizen. And this was only the price for one lease. Once this batch of evolvers had finished their comprehension, it would be another new round of 1.2 billion merit points. At this moment, Lin Yuan also realized the true value of the Black Planet. It was an inexhaustible mine of gold and silver. Even as human civilization grew increasingly powerful and the number of 10th-rank evolvers increased, the price to enter and comprehend on the Black Planet could be raised even higher. Outside the Milky Way main star, Lin Yuan's purchase of resources valued at 200 billion cubic yuan had finally arrived. Galaxy Master. The one transferring these resources was a grade A 10th rank, showing respectful demeanor. Lin Yuan could sense that eyes of 11th rank evolvers were watching. 200 billion cubic universe crystals were enough to warrant the protection of an 11th rank evolver. The quantity is correct. Lin Yuan roughly counted them, then put them into his inner world. Star-Lord's Great Hall. After the 11th rank evolver had left, Lin Yuan's mind moved slightly, and his true form entered the Shenhuang secret realm through the Shenhuang seal. As for the Milky Way main star, it was overseen by the Taiyang divine spirit, deepest part of the Shenhuang secret realm. Lin Yuan's true form sat cross-legged. 10th rank body of Shenhuang at complete level. Shenhuang Qi flowed within Lin Yuan's body, spreading the Shenhuang force field throughout his surroundings spanning thousands of miles. Start the breakthrough. Without hesitation, Lin Yuan began to operate the body of Shenhuang, absorbing the vast resources before him. Thunderous rumbles. The mighty energy was devoured into his body, and Lin Yuan's body underwent rapid changes, becoming denser, his blood and organs subtly circulating an immortal essence. The stronger the physical body, the greater its nourishment to the spirit and will, even significantly affecting the inner world. 9th rank, 10th rank, 11th rank evolvers, most of their foundation lies in the inner world. But in truth, the physical body is key. Without a strong body, how can one sustain a vast inner world? The inner universes of supreme beings reach tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of light years. Do the bodies harboring such vast universes seem frail? The more Lin Yuan comprehended the changes in his body, the deeper his insights became, and that's why the 10th rank Martial Tao chapter, valued at 5 billion merit points, positioned the Martial Path evolutionary path close to the peak of the Supreme Evolution Path. This was because the essence of the 10th rank chapter returned to the physical and spiritual essence, which Lin Yuan had developed after comprehending the physical and spiritual essence of the myriad tribes' powerhouses. Xia the Oval Fire. At website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. Time slowly passed. After half a month, Lin Yuan's purchase of 200 billion cubic universe crystals worth of vast resources was almost completely depleted. At this moment, Lin Yuan had finally reached the complete level of the body of Shenhuang. 12th rank body of Shenhuang at Shenhuang level, even among supreme beings, was considered extremely powerful. Otherwise, it wouldn't dare claim it could withstand the great universe's cataclysm. Although Lin Yuan was only at the 10th rank, having cultivated the body of Shenhuang to completion, his 10th rank was naturally different from others. My current strength, if relying solely on physical strength, probably the second tier of 11th rank life, would be suppressed by me, Lin Yuan mused, examining his physical strength. Lin Yuan's physical body was incredibly strong, a strength manifesting not only in his physical vigor but in defense as well, being near perfect. Blood rebirth combined with the elemental body made him virtually invincible. At this moment, even if Lin Yuan stood without moving, second or even third tier 11th rank life probably couldn't harm him. Even if they could barely breach his defenses, Lin Yuan could quickly recover. Try it. Lin Yuan started to release the suppression of his physical body, and the terrifying power of his physical vigor and blood began to recklessly stir everything within the Shenhuang secret realm. Is the master in seclusion this time to cultivate the body of Shenhuang? On the other side of the Shenhuang secret realm, a six-armed silhouette stood there, feeling the huge fluctuations of qi and energy from Lin Yuan's seclusion spot, feeling somewhat trembled. Shouldn't the master be just at 10th rank? Why is his Shenhuang force field so terrifying? The six-armed silhouette found it hard to believe. As the spirit of the Shenhuang secret realm, it carried many memories of the former Shenhuang and knew about the various stages of the body of Shenhuang. But now, the commotion caused by Lin Yuan's cultivation was a bit too much. The 10th rank body of Shenhuang at complete level was almost no different from the 11th rank body of Shenhuang at complete level. Following the current cultivation trend of the master, when he steps into the 11th rank and cultivates the body of Shenhuang to completion, wouldn't he approach the 12th rank's completion level of the body of Shenhuang? The six-armed silhouette felt its spirit trembling. Even nearing the 12th rank's completion level was incredibly unbelievable. If not standing shoulder to shoulder with ultimate entities, at least it could last dozens or even hundreds of moves in front of them. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Report so we can fix it as soon as possible. To pass the 5th layer of the Demon Jade space, one must thoroughly comprehend the rule of time, which Lin Yuan achieved as early as when he was 9th rank. However, the 6th layer requires the comprehension of the time-space fusion rule, and with Lin Yuan already in the dual realm of time-space fusion rules, he could certainly attempt it. I should also finalize the rewards for passing the 5th layer. Lin Yuan had already decided. The reward list for the 5th layer consisted of treasures or heritages of the 12-star level. Previously, he had been unsure of what to choose, but now he had an idea. Wang. The next moment, a sliver of Lin Yuan's spirit will, following the magic jade mark, descended upon the Demon Jade space. The Demon Jade space is not located within the main universe, but is in the chaos void. Lin Yuan observed his surroundings and felt differently. The Shenhuang secret realm relied on the main universe, so Lin Yuan could enter it in body with just a thought. The Demon Jade space, on the other hand, located God knows how far from the main universe, was a place Lin Yuan could at most arrive at with a single thought. Even so, the fact was quite astonishing. The prowess of the Moyu Tower Master in the aspect of Space Great Dao was absolutely beyond calculation. His Majesty Shen Huang, the demonic Jade Tower Master, powerhouses from different epochs. Yet, their outcomes were quite similar. Both disappeared suddenly. Before long, Lin Yuan arrived in front of the imposing 9 floors dark tower. The stone statue Shinji had been waiting for a long time. The moment Lin Yuan descended into the Demon Jade space, he was aware of it. Have you reached the 10th rank? Stone statue Shinji scrutinized Lin Yuan carefully, feeling inexplicably sentimental. From when Lin Yuan was 7th rank and became an ordinary member of the Moyu Tower, to now being 10th rank. He had witnessed Lin Yuan's progress every step of the way, watching as Lin Yuan broke many of the Moyu Tower's records. Are you planning to choose your rewards, or? Stone statue Shinji looked at Lin Yuan and asked in a low voice. To date, Lin Yuan still had 2 opportunities to choose rewards, all held by him. One was from when he first passed the 2nd floor of the Dark Tower, and the other was the reward from passing the 5th floor of the Dark Tower. Besides choosing rewards, CTH Novelfire, any *T website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. Lin Yuan's descent into the Demon Jade space could also mean he intends to continue challenging the tower. But now that Lin Yuan had already passed the 5th floor of the Dark Tower, if he were to continue, it would only be the 6th floor. The 6th floor of the Dark Tower requires at least the comprehension of the spatio-temporal fusion rule to pass, while the 7th floor is the realm of ultimate beings. Let's start with the 7th floor, Lin Yuan spoke. The matter of selecting rewards could wait. If possible, he intended to choose the rewards for the 5th and 6th floors together. The 7th floor? Stone statue Shinji fell into a brief silence. Based on his experience, Lin Yuan had not descended into the Demon Jade space for over 100 years. Now, with his arrival, he planned to challenge the 6th floor. The only possibility is that he has great confidence. Have you comprehended the time-space fusion rule? Stone statue Shinji couldn't help but ask. If he hadn't witnessed Lin Yuan creating many miracles and records, he would never have asked the question. Comprehending the time-space fusion rule at the 10th rank? Is that some kind of joke? Yet the stone statue was seriously inquiring, because it was indeed possible for Lin Yuan to achieve it. Almost. Lin Yuan nodded. Really comprehended it? Stone statue Shinji's thoughts were complex, but he immediately believed it. Lin Yuan had no reason to lie. Go ahead then. Stone statue Shinji stepped aside and opened the 9 floors dark tower. Walala. Lin Yuan entered the dark tower. Stone statue Shinji watched quietly. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 782 Black Tower 6th Layer, Seeking Subscriptions. Under 3-inch with such talent and speed of cultivation. Even when the master of the Moyu Tower had not reached his ultimate form, he was far inferior. Stone statue Shinji thought to himself. The Moyu Tower master, who was able to establish the Moyu Tower, was naturally a peerless genius of his times, breaking a series of records before even becoming ultimate. But to discern the spatio-temporal fusion rule at the 10th rank? Even a genius like the Moyu Tower Master hadn't achieved that. Initially, the Moyu Tower Master had comprehended the rule of time at the 10th rank, but as for understanding the spatio-temporal fusion rule, that occurred only after stepping into the 11th rank. Such a talented individual would be too great a loss if damaged while striving to reach his ultimate form. Stone statue Shinji showed a hint of hesitation on his face, and Lin Yuan was currently a core disciple of the Moyu Tower, essentially family. If he could step into the 12th rank, perhaps he could preserve the legacy of the Moyu Tower. Enough! Stone statue Shinji made his decision. 6th layer of the Black Tower. Lin Yuan's figure appeared. A vast expanse of continuously merging timespaces. Lin Yuan recognized the key to passing the 6th layer at a glance. It was having a deep mastery of the spatio-temporal fusion rule. Otherwise, even if one walked for 100,000 or 1,000,000 years, reaching the end would be impossible. I am now at the dual realm of the spatio-temporal fusion rules, drawing upon the spatio-temporal fusion rule comprehension of the myriad tribes' powerhouses for reference, which brings my understanding on par with the 3rd realm. This was akin to an open book exam, where the spatio-temporal fusion rule comprehension of the myriad tribes' powerhouses was the paper, and Lin Yuan could copy it even if he didn't understand it temporarily. Time passed. Soon half a day had gone by. Lin Yuan stopped at the last step before the end. Spatio-temporal fusion, so this is how it is. Lin Yuan looked thoughtful as he slowly took the final step and arrived at the endpoint of the Black Tower's 6th layer. Your comprehension is exceptional, observing the mingling of time and space, enhancing your grasp on the spatio-temporal fusion rule. Having passed through the 6th layer of the Black Tower, Lin Yuan had a deeper understanding of the spatio-temporal fusion rule, further enhanced by the spatio-temporal fusion rule comprehension of the myriad tribes' powerhouses. Now, Lin Yuan had again improved in his mastery of the spatio-temporal fusion rule, not far from the peak of the dual realm. Congratulations! You've passed the 6th layer. Stone statue Shinji had long been waiting at the endpoint. His gaze towards Lin Yuan was unavoidably complicated, knowing well that Lin Yuan wouldn't have attempted the 6th layer without being sure of it. But actually witnessing a 10th rank life pass the 6th layer was still profoundly shocking. Even during the prime times of the Moyu Tower, a 10th rank life passing the 6th layer of the Black Tower, it was absolutely unprecedented and extremely rare. Not to mention, he did pass it. Why not try the 7th layer? Stone statue Shinji asked. No need. Lin Yuan shook his head slightly. He found the 6th layer quite challenging, let alone attempting the 7th layer. As for advancing his understanding through tackling the 7th layer, when the levels were too disparate, it became very hard to do. The difference between the 6th and 7th layers of the Black Tower was a qualitative leap, and forcibly attempting to comprehend was less advantageous than observing the spatio-temporal fusion rule comprehension of the myriad tribes' powerhouses. All right, stone statue Shinji nodded. Now you have 3 opportunities to select a reward from me, corresponding to the rewards of the 2nd layer, 5th layer, and 6th layer. Which one would you like to choose? Stone statue Shinji asked. Let's start with the 2nd layer reward. Lin Yuan said, mentioning the 2nd layer reward, but it was actually from the 3rd layer reward vault. When Lin Yuan had passed the 2nd layer of the Black Tower, his performance was so exceptional that he directly qualified for the rewards from the 3rd layer reward vault. Choose one from these rewards. Search * the novel Fire, net website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. Stone statue Shinji waved his right hand, and a virtual light screen emerged, displaying various treasures and rare items. Lin Yuan carefully looked for a while. The opportunity to select the 2nd layer reward was because Lin Yuan couldn't find a suitable reward at that time, which is why he postponed this opportunity. This one. Lin Yuan chose the source of metallicity. This rare treasure has significant effects on nurturing weapons. If Lin Yuan's origin clock is nurtured with the source of metallicity, its growth rate will significantly increase. In the classification of numerous treasures and rare items by human civilization, the source of metallicity ranks as a 12-star, and it's a top-tier 12-star, belonging to the same category as the World Tree. No problem. Stone statue Shinji waved his hand again, and a burst of golden radiance appeared, suspended in front of Lin Yuan. Is this the source of metallicity? Lin Yuan looked it over for a while, took the golden radiance, and then turned his attention to the 5th layer reward list. Have you thought about which reward to choose from these? Stone statue Shinji, showing interest, looked at Lin Yuan.